Good morning.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, that actually wasn't a shtick this time.
No,
Oh god, I gotta mute my Twitch window. It's been a while. It's been a while.
it's been a minute.
Uh,
Hydrate.
all fucking ready?
Already started.
No, no, I'm not gonna. Good morning, everybody,
Stretch.
and welcome. What? Who's making us do all this shit?
AJ, always.
It's too early in the morning. I didn't even pop nothing. Welcome to Morning Ritual. I know if you follow me on a couple of shows, I said that we would be presenting our Gen Con footage today, but we aren't.
We're still talking with Gen Con about getting that footage. There's been some technical hiccups along the way. But hopefully we'll have the whole thing soon.
So that means that we're back at it.
In our
Ill
pajamas.
prepared, but back at it. I'm actually mad we're doing the pajama shtick because that was gonna be my whole stream coming back. But here we are.
I'm sorry, baby. Bo, thank you very much for that subscription.
Oh, Bo.
Oh, Bo,
Hey,
we love you.
That's a Bo Burnham song. So hello everybody, and we're glad to be back. Kind of have to remember how to do this again.
Yeah.
Especially without a guest.
I mean, that's the thing too, is we kind of blew our budget on guests for Gen Con. That's why it's just the two of us.
That's not even remotely true.
No.
Everyone knows nothing. I was about to be mad salty. Anyway, I should not be live right now. I'm too damn tired. I'm gonna get myself in fucking trouble. Anyway, there's a lot going on in the TTRPG community that we should probably take a look at. Some stuff that I would rather not talk about, but
jeez, Kaylin Rohr, thank you very much for those 10 gift subs.
The fuck? Well, that's a welcome back. Hey, thank you very much, Kaylin Rohr. There's a lot going on in the TTRPG space, stuff that I would rather not talk about, but I suppose can't have a morning show and not talk about it, and that's probably gonna be the Critical Role stuff. Even though I've made a TikTok saying I'll never talk about this shit again. We should cover it really quickly. There's been a lot that's going on since we've been gone, and also there was a lot going on with Gen Con.
Yeah.
And a lot happening with the people that made it to Gen Con, and a lot of reactions to the people who went to Gen Con from the people who did not go to Gen Con. So that's probably something we should touch on as well. So fuck it, get us into something.
Oh, now we have a hype train going.
What is listen, don't act like y'all like us this much. This is ridiculous.
What are you hoping for this upcoming 6th edition? Oh, Noir's done several threads on this.
Okay, plain and simple, I want my prestige classes back. I want them back. Give them to me. Give me my prestige classes. I need to have them. Give them to me. I've actually low-key been making design notes for what I would do in a 5.5 or a 6th edition. And all right, yeah, let's get into it. I need them to put in a rule set for enchanting magical items. That was a huge part of my world, with people being able to craft items. And I think that 5th edition had the right idea in spirit when they made tool proficiencies. You could be a cobbler, you could be a carpenter, you could be a wood maker or woodworker.
Carpenter.
Yeah, but other than having proficiency in it, like what did it do?
It
And
no,
go ahead.
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
I mean,
it didn't do anything except take up room on your character sheet. And I understand that the entire point of fifth edition was to be accessible and not to overburden people with rules. And like I get that to an extent, but there's a difference between making a system accessible and just having half-ass concepts. And I think that fifth edition is full of half-ass concepts that just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like the background feature, really awesome.
I've barely used it.
In concept, but it doesn't do anything. Like, okay, you get to choose a few proficiencies. Well, we've now made that the method in which we get proficiencies in different skills and completely rendered the intelligence skill useless because of it. Intelligence used to be how you would allocate skill points, and the more intelligent you were, the more skilled you were, which kind of makes sense because you know how to pick up a fucking book and learn how to do shit. The more intelligent you were, the more different languages you got to speak, which makes sense because you were smart. You could pick up a book, you knew how to do shit. Now intelligence is there if you're an artificer or a wizard, and that's it. Like, yeah, there are some skills that are tethered to intelligence and more so than like strength or constitution, but still, I feel like fifth edition is just full of half-baked concepts that just need a little more thinking.
A little polish.
Yeah, I mean, the background feature could be really fucking cool. Like, I would love for a background to affect your spellcasting modifier rather than the class. I think that'd be cool. So, like, if you were, an occultist, or you grew up in a blood cult, perhaps you learned to do magic with like blood sacrifices or something. Via your constitution modifier will be your spellcasting primary.
Yeah.
Or let's say that you were an academic who, is just naturally gifted with magic. You could be a sorcerer that uses intelligence. Like, why not? It's just there's so many things that could be, but they're just I could fucking rant about this all day because there's so many things that could matter, but they don't. Mm-hmm. Like, fifth edition's half-baked ideas to me is why the Ranger will never be as good as it's supposed to be, because the Ranger is all about making exploration and journeying through the world easier, but there's really not a rule set for how it should be difficult in the first place. So I mean, most GMs I know just go, okay, you go from this place to that place.
Maybe you roll on the random encounter table every once in a while.
It's really the GMs that take extra precaution and are really prepared and really care about the world that just find a way to make traversing difficult so that the Ranger can shine. I just think that it would behoove us as GMs and as players if there were a rule set to at least help guide our thinking. But that's never really been the case for fifth edition. Fifth edition was kind of like, here, y'all figure it out. And then we figured it out and made it like the dopest system ever, which is ridiculous.
Let's see. Intelligence is usually the dump stat if you're a wizard or an artificer. Maybe your background can determine if you get a bonus to spellcasting on specific types of magic. Or steal travel rules from forbidden lands and enjoy the chaos. Also, Bo, me too.
Wait, what? What Bo say?
They've been called. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Both of y'all go to horny jail right now.
Bonk.
Actually, I kind of like this format. If y'all got any other questions, hit us up. This is good because I could seriously, I could rant about sixth edition all day. Like for real, there's no reason that the monk should still be called the monk at this point.
Yeah.
I think calling it the monk is limiting and it's offensive. There's no reason it shouldn't be called the mixed martial artist or like the martial artist. That leads to so much more. Just the so much more. Like, I don't know. I love some rules and guidelines on creating new spells. That would be interesting. I think 3.5 actually had a guide for creating spells in the original player's handbook, but I don't have my player's handbook ready on me, so I could be spouting that bullshit right now. Who knows?
1 second.
There are some classes from 3.5 that I would love for them to make a return. I don't know, and these were classes that came at the tail end of 3.5 that I really love. Like, I don't know if you remember the Knight. I love the Knight because more so than the Knight was like a paladin with no magic, but but was like dedicated to fucking up one person. And so they would have like these Knights challenges that gave them all sorts of bonuses and boons. And it made it harder for whoever they challenged to fight someone else. And oh my God, I played at a party with the Knight and it made shit so much easier. Also, I hate that there are classes that just don't get a second attack. I would fix that really badly. Every class should get at least 2 attacks. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Every class should at least get 2 attacks. I'm playing the druid right now that is that likes to use archery instead of their magic and only really uses their magic as like in case of emergency. And I only get 1 shot. And it's just like, come on. Like, I know that's not what they're focused on, but like these are supposed to be heroes of legend. And like all I can do is 1 spell, or like I have to turn into an animal that can attack twice. Like, no, give me my 2 attacks. God damn it.
Or at least like 2 actions. Or like 2 actions at later levels.
I don't want to say 2 actions at later levels because I like the way that they have it.
You like the action
which
economy.
Is just the action economy is great. You get a fucking action, movement, action, bonus action, you're done. It's nice. It's clean, it's simple, and depending on your class and your level, your attack action is either 1 attack or 2 attacks, or depending on your class, you can do a cantrip and an attack. Like, okay, bet that works, but you can't have classes out here that only get 1 attack. I just that fundamentally feels stupid.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like 5e was made for min-maxing. It really is. Like, honestly, there's no reason not to play a paladin bard. Like, if you play a paladin bard, then you're literally set. There's literally nothing you can't do. And it's like, get to 6 levels paladin and do the rest bard, and you're gonna have a great time. I guarantee it. It's because, like, 1, they both lean on charisma, so all you have to do is really focus on charisma. And as a bard, you're gonna want to be Dexy anyway. So if you make yourself a Dexy bard paladin and you use a rapier, it's smite o'clock whenever the fuck you feel like it. And it's even worse if you make yourself something like a college of swords bard, because now you're fucking nasty with those fucking sword, and you get all these spell slots and spells, and you get expertise and all this other shit. It's just like, that's my favorite class, but it's my favorite class because it makes life so much easier. I just miss the days of 3.5 where just because I'm a paladin, or just because I'm a druid, or just because I'm a fighter, you don't necessarily know what I'm going to do, because there are so many options around what I can do in this class.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5th edition just locks you down. I don't.
And I think it also makes it feel like the combat, you kind of get stuck in rotational patterns. Like, every cleric is going to pick a certain, like, specific spells. It's very rare that you see a spellcaster with much variance to what they are able to cast or what they do cast.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell y'all how much as a player I truly fucking hate 2 spells in particular. I feel like these 2 spells have taken away the fun, the excitement, and the tension of D&D. And that is Healing Word and Revivify. I hate those 2 spells, because it's just like I know in the beginning people were saying, like, you know, 5th edition is like training wheels and like all this kind of shit. And I don't agree with them, but I do agree that those 2 spells are responsible for the ability to not take shit as seriously as a GM might want you to. Because it is the cheapest and the easiest get out of jail free card I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, if you're down 60 feet away, I can just say get up and you're like, bet. Like, I hate that. Like, I hate it.
I definitely, like, it. I mean, it does take away from a certain level of mortality after a certain point. Like, you're just like, your characters really can't die after that.
I mean, honestly, my fix would be to get rid of those 2 spells and improve Spare the Dying. I think Spare the Dying was a brilliant spell, but again, it's one of those things that's absolutely rendered kind of useless because Healing Word and Revivify. Like, if Spare the Dying said that, Spare the Dying basically says you get over to somebody and they're stable. They don't got to make death saves no more, right?
Yeah.
Like, that should be that. Like, that should be the spell. Like, right. That, and you make it touch. And so you've got that tension of having to get over to the person. And another thing that I saw this on TikTok, which is somebody's homebrew rules, where you can, if you are in the state where you are making death saves, you can spend successes to affect combat. Meaning that if I am dying, but I see my friends over there and they need a hand, I can choose to take a failure.
Yeah.
To, like, I don't know, like, correct. I would say as a GM, I would grant them one action that they could do on a bonus action. So if you could do it on a bonus action, then you can take a failure to do it on your turn, but that's it. You can't take a full action while you're dying, but you can do a bonus action because that is colored and schemed to be like something that's almost effortless. So I think all I want is for death to be more serious
and more meaningful.
And more meaningful in 5th edition, and it's not, because it's just like, who's got Revivify,
who's got diamonds,
and the thing is, like, every class gets this shit. Like, okay, here we go. Paladins get revivified. Clerics get revivified. Do druids get revivified? I don't think druids get it.
Druids do.
Druids get revivified.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why AJ was able to revive. Eugene was able to revivify Yenna in Kingsguard.
Yeah, that's
but
okay. So
he didn't have it prepared that day, so it was interesting. So yeah,
paladins, clerics, druids, bards, and if you're a divine soul or divine favorite sorcerer, you get it too. So it's just like it's the fucking parachute that everybody can get, and it's just,
yeah, bards get it at level 10, I think, through their.
That's my complaint. Like, you know, in the y'all, I'm sorry. Did y'all really want an episode of me just going in on 5th edition? Because that's what you about to get. The other thing I hate is like the death save state is brilliant. Okay, you've dropped at 0. Now we play this little mini game to see if you live or not. Mm-hmm. Why? Like, if you got like, first off, that is a safety feature. That is one more. Okay, you fucked up, but it's gonna be okay because now you got this mini game to play. You could be alive, right? Great. I don't mind that. What I do mind is the removal of save or die effects. Meaning, I think since we have this death save thing, there should be more spells, effects, traps that are just like, if you fail it, you're instantly in that death state. I miss save or die. Like, I really do.
Yeah. AJ, can't every class get it because of Magic Initiate? I think Magic Initiate is only
first level
spells, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cantrips and first levels.
Yep. Which I also have feelings about, but I'm not gonna get into it. I've got feelings about the Magic Initiate feat.
Could be better.
Well,
I'm a bigger fan of the Ritual Caster feat.
Well, why? I mean, yes, there are Ritual Caster builds, and I get that. Like, it feels like, and here's why I'm frustrated with the Magic Initiate feat and the Eldritch Evocation feat, right? It feels like Wizards knows that we want that customization. Like, I want my paladin to have a little bit of, like, warlock sauce. And so their answer to that was, okay, here's a feat that makes you, like, inherently like a baby warlock.
Yeah.
And that feels like, okay, you're trying, but that's not what I really want,
Bye, Lauren. Have fun with sword stuff.
Have fun with sword stuff. Like, what I want is a fucking prestige class that lets me mix my warlock with my paladin. And it makes something new. Like, it rewards me for this mixture.
Yeah.
Like let's look back at, like, 3.5. I'm gonna be bringing up 3.5 a lot because that's what I was raised in, baby. But let's take a look at the 3.5 Arcane Archer, which is my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing. It is so good.
Oh no, one of my players from the games that I was running at Gen Con is here. I believe in Save or Die mechanics because I was trying to kill the character he was playing in several times in Cypher. Listen, your character is making very bad choices. You go into a dungeon. There's 2 skeletons that are picked clean, but one of them is clasping a gem. What do? You
take the gem.
Okay, two wraiths jump up from the floor and immediately death touch you.
I hope it was a sweet ass gem.
It was worth 500 GP.
Look, Everybody's gonna grab that gym. That's not a bad decision. That's an adventurous decision.
That's true. Everyone's a boo from Aladdin.
God, I can't tell you how much I hate a boo. Anyway, I'm just really quickly going back to the Arcane Archer. In 3.5, what the Arcane Archer could do was they could take an arrow and go boop, now you're fireball. They could just shoot a fireball, or they could go boop, you're a cure light wounds, and then they could shoot somebody and they would go ow, ooh, and then be okay.
Arcane Archer in 3.5 better than 5. Yeah, it's true.
The Arcane Archer in 3.5 can go, you know what? This is an arrow of slaying Noir. And then they would shoot me and I'd go, ow, save or die. Like, the Arcane Archer in 3.5 was so fucking dope because, like, the second they put an arrow to that bow, you never knew what that arrow was gonna fucking do. Now, in 5th edition, there's like 5 things that the arrow can do, and you can only do them 3 times a day. And it's a fighter subclass.
Yeah, the Arcane Archer is weak sauce.
What?
It's a weaker version of the Ranger.
And the Ranger is a weaker version of the Ranger. Look, all I'm saying, and if you can agree with me, and you can not agree with me if you want to, but it just feels like certain classes are getting more attention, more love, and more subclasses than other ones. And so it makes this whole shit not fun. Like, how many fighter subclasses do we have now? How many wizard subclasses do we have now? And then tell me how many ranger subclasses are there? Like, the range, I still haven't found a ranger subclass that I was just like, all right, I might play this. Like, there's a new one. This is like a Drake rider where you have like a little baby Drake, and then like it grows up with you, and then eventually you can fly it.
A dwagon? How to train your dwagon?
Essentially, but it's still not good. Like, it's just not good. Like, I'm sorry. It's not. And why can't the druid have an animal companion? Somebody needs to answer these questions for me. I hate this game.
See, that's the thing. Bo is like, I like my Swarmkeeper Ranger, but not because of the mechanics. I think you could say that of any of the Ranger subclasses. You like them for the flavor, not for the mechanics. Like, the Gloomstalker's real cool, or the Horizon Walker's real cool, but like...
Do you know how much help Matt Mercer had to give Vex for her to be, or Vex? I can't remember. Yeah. Vex, you know how much help Matt had to give Vex in order for her to be useful? Like, you know how much shit she had that made her, like, the shit that made her dope was not the class. It was all the other shit.
It was all Laura Bailey's RP.
It's just, I just want the classes to feel equal. That's it.
The Drake Rider class is going to be the new Dragon book?
I believe it is. Here, let me take another look at it, because I got a peek at it at Gen Con, and I was like, ooh, this is really cool. I think I'm able to talk about it. I really hope I didn't just fuck up an indie. No, I'm pretty sure, but
they've been releasing things for the Dragon book.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I'm not seeing this shit anywhere. Anyway, oops, maybe, but
so let's see. Vax, all y'all better remember the twins, or I'm Vax ill done. I remember it because Vax sneak attacks.
Wait, what?
It's like Vex all y'all better remember the twins or I'm Vaxil done. I remember it because Vax sneak attacks and Vex is the opposite sex of
Okay,
Vax.
let's talk about it.
All right.
Rogues got too much. Rogues got too much in 5th edition. Can we just admit that?
I think that
Rogues are too
I think that specific classes got special treatment because of how they are perceived in other editions.
Rogues got too much.
Yeah. Rogues being one of them, wizards being the other.
Like rogues got too much, wizards being the second one, and bards being the third one. But I am a paladin bard. I am a paladin bard. That is where my heart is. I will say this: I will never forgive them for coming up with the concept as dope as fuck as the College of Whispers, and then fucking it up with the subclass as garbage as the College of Whispers. What? There's so much situational shit that it's not good. The assassin subclass is not good, and I'll fight anybody who disagrees.
When Cassius came out, Rogues got no new things.
Oh well, about fucking time. But I just want more. I think that's the thing. And I understand inherently that I am judging 5th edition on a standard that they never shot for and that they are never going to reach, because 3.5 had so much even base wizard stuff. And then on top of that, they had so much more homebrew stuff on top of that. And then there's the homebrew stuff that I built. And then I found the internet and I'm like, oh, there's even more homebrew stuff. So 3.5 is loaded to the gills with rule sets for just about everything that you can imagine. And there's lore for everything that you can imagine. And there's just so much. 5th edition seems to not be interested in that. And I think one of the things that 5th edition has done that really has me kind of annoyed, and this, I know that I'm in the minority with this, is that I hate how the new books are presented.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that when 3.5 came out with a book, it was just like, this is the book of thieves. Like this is the books for rogues. Here's the books.
The book of the wild for rangers.
This is the book for drag. Oh yeah, the rogues was complete scoundrel. Take it. You had like complete warrior, complete fighter. Here, like here's the Draknomicon. Take it. Here's the book of exalted deeds if you want to be real good, and here's the book of vile darkness if you want to be real evil. Like I like that because it's just like that's how my brain works. It's like cool. This is the book for my evil shit. This is the book for my rogues. This is my book for that. Like in 5th edition, they're all like, well, Tasha's written a new book about spooky Feywild things, and now we're gonna take you through Tasha's adventures of I don't give, and I need y'all to hear, I don't give a fuck about Tanya or Tasha or Valo or whoever the fuck these people are. I just want the information about how I can put more shit in my game. I don't care about your lore. I've never cared about your lore. Stop trying to feed me your lore. I'm not ever gonna pay attention to your lore. Who the fuck are these people? Like, and Volo says this about Asmar. Who the fuck is Volo?
Yeah.
Just tell me about the Asimar I can have in the world. I don't give a shit about this motherfucker's journey. I didn't sign up for it. Quit putting your lore in my lore. Give me my complete scoundrel.
You want lore agnostic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because it's so tied to the Forgotten Realms.
3.5 is like, motherfuckers, you like stabbing people in the back? Yeah, here's a book about it. And now they're just like, well, Tasha met somebody that knows how to stab in the back. And if you read through our little novel, you might even find a useful subclass. Go fuck yourself. I didn't sign up for this. If I want to play in the world of Forgotten Realms, I'll turn on Baldur's Gate. This is me time. You know what it's like? It's like drawing up a nice bubble bath. You got your bath salt, you got your bath soap in there. It's nice and foamy and steamy. You got the wine on the side. You got your iPad. You about to just have a whole lot of you time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody named Doug is just like, let me tell you about the baths. Like, who are you, Doug? Get out of here. This is about me. This is about me.
But Noir, then they could charge $50 for it.
They charged me $50 for Complete Scoundrel, and I was happy about it. I sound like a boomer, right?
You really
back
do.
in my day, there was no Valo or Tasha or Tammy or Tanika.
Kids these days don't know nothing about Thaco.
Ew. You know what? Here's my problem. I want a real black sounding name in the next book. I want Deshaun's Guide to the Plains.
Tamika? Tamika's Cauldron of Everything.
Do it, you cowards. Do you know how quickly I would find Tamika's Guide to Everything? Holy shit. What's this Valo and Tasha's and all this other shit? Give me black names in these books. If I'm forced to fucking read your lore and your stories in order to get the information I need to run my world, then I demand doper characters, because there's nothing. Listen to me. Listen. I need you to listen.
Oh, the hood's coming down.
I will never, you hear me? I will never take advice from anybody named Volo. All right? Never. Not me and not my kid. The name Volo automatically excludes you from telling me anything about anything. Well, here's what I know about monsters. Get away from me, you creep. Your name sounds very perverted, and I don't know why. Like, you just, Draymond's got the monsters.
Tamika's Guide to Silk Presses and Prestidigitation.
It's your move, Wizards, you cowards.
That's the truth. Is all the archmages that these books are based on are white as hell because they were all made by white people.
Has there been anybody that has written these books that's been black?
Or person of color, no.
That's why I just want lore agnostic books. Like, hey, in Complete Scoundrel, if you like to stab people with magic, here's how you stab people with magic. You want to stab people with divine magic? Here's how you stab with divine magic. Want to stab with arcane magic? Here's how you stab with arcane magic. How about just stabbing motherfuckers with shadows? We got that too. But now I've got these super white archmages. First, I'm
Deep breath.
I'm trying. Be the change you want to see in the Forgotten Realms.
$30 for a 90-page softback pamphlet about ninjas, and we liked it.
Yo, don't get me started about the ninja 3.5 class, because it was so dope to just sneak attack somebody and just vanish like it didn't even happen. What you crying for, baby? I'm gone. Like, this shit was so goddamn dope. Like, who made the decision that we need to tell the stories from these archmages that have names like Tasha and Volo? I refuse to read the rest. I know, like, I could just look up the rest of the names of these books, but I refuse. Not until they get a Tyrone's Guide to Scoundrels.
Bo, my first character was a ninja because, of course, I wanted to be a ninja. I could see it.
Like,
Everybody wanted to be a ninja.
Like, there's a lot of, obviously 3.5 had a lot of problematic stuff. Like, they had a whole Oriental
Adventure's Guide
thing, which you don't do. You just don't do. That being said, there was content in that book that was awesome. All you have to do is to take your book and bring it to a sensitivity group and go, we fucked up, but there's some shit we can salvage. How do we do that? And instead we got Tasha's telling you this and Volo telling you that. And, I have a lot of hope for 6th edition. I'm just a sad 3.5. We're living my best life.
And you know what a lot of grognards would tell you?
What?
You can play Pathfinder.
You listen to me.
I'm just saying what they would tell you, not what I'm telling you.
And I'm going to tell you what I tell them. All right? There are some things in life I like crunchy. Tacos. Tacos are delicious crunchy. Give me hard shell tacos every day. You know what else? Doritos. Doritos are also delicious crunchy. But Pathfinder? Good God Almighty! It's like I can't with that system. I tried to, and I fucking okay. Your AC bonus is this, or your AC is this. All right, cool. Are you holding the shield? Yeah. Okay, now your AC is that. Are you using the shield? Yeah. Okay, now your AC is this. Is the shield on your back? Yeah, now your AC is this. Are you thinking about the shield? Yeah. Okay, which shield? The shield on your back or the WWE stable shield? Well, now I'm thinking about the WWE stable shield. Okay, your AC is that. Really? There's a rule set for if I'm thinking about the shield. Yeah. Now, all right, when you picture your shield, what kind of shield are you imagining? The one that I have, is there paint on it? Like Captain America? Yeah. Yes, there's paint on it. Is it Captain America's paint? Yeah. Okay, then there's a different AC bonus. Why? Because that's the rules. Like, I like rules to guide us, but Pathfinder has a rule for its rules, for its rules, for its rules, for its rules debate, and then for its rules. And it's like, I get so tired. I played one game of Pathfinder and I legitimately cried afterwards. Not because I had a bad time, but because no system has made me feel as stupid and as inferior as Pathfinder. I was like, I'm smart. I can figure it out. Like, I was literally rolling dice and then doing this afterwards. Something happened. Somebody tell me.
I rolled at this. What
I need an adult.
I think that kind of tells you something, is that when you need like an accountant to do your rolls in a fucking RPG.
Like, you just roll, put on your sunglasses and go talk to my lawyer.
I have my advocate here to actually interpret the rolls. Rules as written.
I don't even tell the GM what I'm going to do. I just whisper it to my lawyer. My client says he would like to attack.
My client
I
says
don't
he would
trust
like to
that
rage.
system. Oh, but don't even get me started on rage, because I played a barbarian. There's so many different things that can happen when you rage. And I was just like, oh, I like these choices. Like, it's exactly that TikTok sound. Ooh, all right, pizza. We got some slices. Okay, that's That's some nice slices. That's too many slices. That's too many slices.
That's enough slices.
It's like, okay, when I can rage, I can turn into a bear. Oh, that's dope. Or I could just get stronger, or I could shoot laser beams out my nipples. Okay, or I could grab somebody and throw them around like the Hulk, or I could go off the top rope, or I could please stop. I like all these options, but there's just so many.
Doing character creation in Pathfinder felt way too close to doing taxes. You're not
You
wrong.
are doing taxes. I believe that somebody figured out a way for a character sheet to actually be somebody's tax returns, and they're duping us into doing the taxes.
It's your W-2.
Patreon goal to make the Noir play
Pathfinder again.
Well, that'll be.
I actually have all the Pathfinder books.
That'll be a top tier, because that system, it broke me. Because I was just like, I'll pick a simple class. You know, when you go to a new system, you find a simple class. So I'm not going to play a caster. That obviously has too many options. So I'm going to pick a barbarian, which is, you know, set it and forget it. And they just swing for the fences, right? I can understand a barbarian in any language. I thought.
Once 1,000 tables of Pathfinder are going simultaneously around the world, the combined math crunching will summon elder gods. That is Paizo's true purpose.
Look, every now and then somebody will be like, Paizo did some off the wall shit, you know, you gotta cancel Paizo. And I'm like, hell yeah. They're like, you heard about what happened? I was like, no, but they made me feel stupid. Oh, so many feats. Bo, don't get there's class feats, there's ancestry feats, there's rage feats. There's so many feats.
Too many feats.
So many feats.
Too many feats.
I was playing Pathfinder in my home, and I remember thinking very clearly, I want to go home, but I was home.
It's like being at a job you hate.
And I refuse to believe anybody knows the rules of Pathfinder. I think we're all just guessing.
Including a TI-84 so you can chart logs for your action economy.
I had the stock market on just in case that influenced the game. I was like, oh shit. The Dow dropped. The Dow dropped. I better not attack. Are we just finna roast systems this entire?
I'm here for it. I'm here for roasting for the system roast session.
Oh shit! Because I figured there's a genius to having simple mechanics in your game, because it makes it very easy to pick up and go. It is just the games I like are the games where it's just bet I can teach you this game to you in 5 minutes, and then we just go. We just do the thing. And then there are these mechanics that just come out, and it's just what the fuck are we doing? Why are we
Harper, no. Keep all your feats in a wiki feat.
What's a wiki? Oh, I discovered wiki feet recently. It's weird.
It's weird.
And it's not just famous people either. It's TikTokers and all that kind of shit. I mean, I'm a little upset because I know I don't have the biggest online,
Well, I mean, you did
post. I don't have the biggest online footprint. But I figure enough for somebody to want to see my feet a little bit, right?
I mean,
And
you
like,
did post that TikTok yesterday. Your feet
what
were
TikTok?
where you were in the kilt and the Udi.
Oh yeah, yeah. This motherfucker is so comfortable. It's been responsible for me being late to at least 3 appointments already, because it's just like I could move or I could drown in comfort, and I've chosen the latter 3 times instead of a meeting.
Yeah.
And I've gotten yelled at 3 times. But I mean, your yelling can't hurt my feelings when I'm covered in adorable otters. Nothing you say to me matters. Look, this motherfucker right here got a heart. Kiss my ass.
Is it a heart or a shell?
Don't ask questions. All right, I said it's a heart. It's a heart.
Okay.
We got to see your ankles and feet. Yeah, so why am I not on WikiFeet is the problem. Like, I look up the TTRPGs on WikiFeet, and you know what I find? Not a goddamn thing. Oh, there's WikiFeet men. I'm sorry, we've got gender things. Let me see if I'm on that. No results. Fuck you guys. You're not our real fans.
I don't even want to know if I'm on there. That's why I love PBTA. Narrative focus RP. You get 2d6 and we're good. Yeah. I love PBTA games.
All right, we're about to play Noir gets himself in trouble with his job.
Please don't, because it's also my job.
Well, you know, buckle up, Buckaroo. I hope you got a plan B. You would think that in the Powered by the Apocalypse game, that's going to introduce most people to tabletop and Powered by the Apocalypse, that you would just stay in line with how combat works in all of the other Powered by the Apocalypse games.
Here we go.
But somehow, Avatar Legends, and don't get me wrong, I love this system. It's fucking amazing. It's great for telling stories in the world of Avatar. That being said, what the fuck is up with that combat system? I don't understand. It's like a game of rock, paper, scissors or some shit that's complicated for no reason. And I know the reasons that it's complicated. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
I think it can be streamlined a little bit.
A little bit?
A lot of it.
Like, no. I just, we gotta remember
Element
the number
bending,
one rule.
Kalimar.
Kiss is the number one rule. What is kiss?
Keep it simple,
Keep
stupid.
it simple, stupid. Like, I've had to, in the balance system, like, in concept, like, I think, okay, so the problem I've had with Avatar Legends is that this is a game that is built for campaigns from the ground up. It's built for campaigns. I've been running one-shots of it since they started doing Avatar Legends games in CPP. And if there's one thing that I'm certain of, is that this game is going to be fucking amazing for campaigns. Like, the actual plays that are going to use this system to tell long-running stories in the world of Avatar are going to be compelling, they're going to be tense, they're going to be amazing. That said, this combat system and the balance system, it's not amazing for one-shots. You can still tell an amazing story, but you have to navigate past the features instead of utilizing the features. And that's something that even Magpie knows, and they're still working on it and adjusting it. But as it stands now, I'm able to tell a good story in spite of some of the features, not because of some of the features.
Yeah. I've run 3 games so far and barely touched the balance system.
Ooh, how many games
You've run so many. You've run so many games.
I'm actually looking.
It's a good system. Like, I highly recommend checking it out. Noir and I both have sessions through the curated play program. And if you would like to play in one of our games, check out Magpie and look into their CPP program. I also run games of masks. And later this month, on the 31st, I'll be running a game of Crossroads Carnival for the spookiest day.
Oh, wow. All right, so it looks as though I've run about 49 games of Avatar.
You're close to 50.
Gang, gang. I need to sleep. Anyway, it's a good system. I just their combat system needs work. Pathfinder, I guess if we're doing like system ratings or summaries of what I think about systems, 5th edition is it's not finished. Like it's not finished, and they're forcing me to consume lore I don't want to consume. I
think they're also putting a lot of the onus on finishing on the people that are playing the game.
Yeah.
Because it's like, want to build a spell? Reflavor another spell. You want to have a new monster? Reskin this monster.
You wanna be able to change your subclass every time you level? Well, now you can. I have feelings about that. Yeah. I have feelings. I have feelings about that. But anyway, my a 1 or 2 sentence summary of 5th edition for me is, I mean, it's okay, but it's not done. Good soup.
It's good soup.
Pathfinder. My couple word summaries of that are put it back in the fiery hellhole from whence it came so that it never plagues Earth again with its crunch. Back to hell, demon! Back to hell! AKA, it's okay. This is how I get blacklisted from like every fucking publisher. Let's see, my couple word summary of Avatar Legends. Great system. We're not doing combat. Like that's how I'm ready, baby. Like, great system, combat optional. Like, let's see. I'm trying to think of some other Mask. Mask is just a perfect system. It's I love perfect Mask. All the way around. I love Mask is so good. Urban Shadows 2. Mwah. It's just masterpiece. I can't wait to start using that system. Curse Captains of Cthulhu from Follow Black Cats Gaming, which is Modifius. I'm friends with the team. Also a very good system. It's still being developed, so I get to have a little bit of an early look, and I'm playing in their actual play. It's just a fun. It makes you feel like a pirate, and it's pretty simple. I think one of the systems that I wish got more love is the spy game from Modifius that uses the 5th edition system, because it's so complete. And it's complete for the type of stories that they're telling. So whereas 5th edition has holes in it for none of the classes can really, you know how the Ranger sucks because there aren't rules that make the Ranger useful. Mm-hmm. There are rules that makes the Ranger useful in Spy Game.
Yeah, aren't you actually playing like a Ranger subclass? And
I am playing a mix of a technician and a Ranger. And a technician in this world is basically replace spells with gadgets. And I'm a wizard. But there's more flavor to it, and it's really fucking.
You're a more
sick.
flavorful artificer.
Never. I cannot tell you how much I hate the Artificer class. I cannot.
As someone who plays the Artificer class, it could be better. It definitely could be better.
There are some classes in 5th edition that just aren't good. Like, I'm not gonna say that. I take that back. I apologize. There are some classes in 5th edition that I cannot get myself to like. I cannot get myself to like an Artificer. I tried. It don't feel good. It don't feel right. Like, it doesn't pass the vibe test for me. And the other class that I think utterly fails the vibe test is the Blood Hunter. I hate this class. Like, I know I'm trying not to say I hate classes, but I hate this class.
Can't get into it.
Well, first off, there's the I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this. There is the whole aspect of self-harm that is inherent to the class, which is not amazing. And then, like, the benefits from doing it aren't worth it. Like, to me, like, I imagine a paladin and a I forgot the name of the class already.
Blood Hunter.
Yeah, that one. I imagine a paladin and a blood hunter just kind of doing their thing, and the paladin's just looking at the blood hunter like, I'm gonna get strong. Like, what the fuck are you? Just keep a promise real hard, and then you can do this. Smite. Like, you're over there like cutting yourself up, and what do you get for it? Like, in like, and to me, there's no better example of, like, the class not being worth it than how and spoiler alert for campaign 2 of Critical Role, I guess there's no better example of why I don't like the class than Molly's death. Molly died not because the bad guy beat him, but because he hurt himself in front of the bad guy. It was just like, I hate that class. I get wanting to be like dark and broody and stuff, but like, I would much rather push the narrative to people that self-harm is never worth it. And nothing does that better than this class, because it sucks. Like, it's just, you like, and like the premiere showing of the class, you know, from the guy who created it, in that world, he just ate it because he was like, I need more power. Well, that fucking sucked.
You get edge, Noir. I'm an edgy wolf man. I need to do the snippy snip for power.
Like, no. Molly's death was strictly because of Ashley Birch.
I think there's a couple factors that aided into that death. Rushing into combat and an opponent they knew nothing about. Just a series of bad rolls.
No, like, I completely blame the class. Look, I get, okay. And here's why I think I like this conversation, because it's helping me get to why I don't like the Blood Hunter. Everything that you get as whatever class you are, is supposed to be your shield and sword against the rest of the world. And the thing is that sword and shield may have a cost, i.e. the warlock, or it may be able to be depleted, aka sorcerers, wizards, and monks. But it should never be a detriment to you unless it gives you something better. better in return.
Yeah.
And I have yet to see a blood hunter ability that can't be matched or beaten by an ability of another class or a spell. It just it's such a shit show for what it does. Like, I just, and again, maybe it's because I inherently just hate self-harm, but it's just like, what are you getting in return?
Yeah.
Like, advantage or something? Like, yeah, I get a +2 to this attack? Like,
you get like magic weapons at like early levels, I think, is essentially what it is.
I cast magic weapon as a paladin at level 4 and I'm good. Like, what the fuck? Like, just,
wasn't there a blood hunter in campaign 1, a bear were creature person?
I really couldn't tell you.
I don't recall.
Okay, but paladin now being able to change subclasses at every level makes no sense. That is okay. So
I can just switch my promises up.
We're getting into the weeds about why.
Tova. Yeah, you're right.
We're getting into the weeds about why I don't like the subclass switching. So, because again, 5th edition is so insistent on putting their lore in our sauce. Like, a lot of these classes aren't just things that you can do or things that you can study. Like, if you choose to become a College of Lore bard, that has implications for your character's story by virtue of you picking it, right? Whereas, like, in 3.5, you could just be a wizard. You could just be a bard, and like, how you became a bard and all that kind of shit, that's up to you. Like, you're just that became a bard. There's no implication on your character's story at all. You woke up, you picked the loot, and then you started playing shit and magic happened. Okay, that's your story. But now it's just like, okay, I've hit level 3. Now we determined so much about who you are, what your goals are, and your personality, that being able to change that every level just...
And for certain classes, it really does make sense, like sorcerers. Oh, my ancestry is draconic. Oh no, wait, it's actually celestials. Oh no, wait, it's actually wild magic. Oh no, wait, it's actually shadows. Oh no, wait, it's like, that doesn't make sense. Because with the sorcerer, it's literally what you are. It's how you were, like, born. It's like the circumstances of your birth affect your magic.
And
so you're just getting full blood transfusions.
And it's truly because they are putting their lore in our sauce. Like, I can't. Okay, look. So the thing about prestige classes that I love so much is that a prestige class does what a subclass does in 5th edition, where if you were to pick a prestige class, that means that you're going a certain way with your character story, right? So, like, if I'm a fighter that then took levels in rogue, and like I pumped up my skills in like in nautical vehicles, right? I could take the subclass of like pirate lord, right? By virtue of being a pirate lord, you know what my character's goals are, who they are, and what their ambitions are, right?
Yeah.
But I got to that point by taking a fighter and a rogue and pushing their story in that direction. It took time, it took cooperation with the GM, but ultimately we were able to get to that. And prestige classes gave you dope as shit rewards for doing that. And requirements of prestige class weren't just you have to have this many points in skills. You have to have this many skill points and this skill, that skill. Like there were narrative things
affected it.
Your alignment affected it, which okay, we can get rid of that. But there were story requirements too. Like if you were going to be a pirate lord, you had to have killed the pirate lord, which like there's like little shit like that makes getting that prestige class and then maxing it out and then like being badass awesome.
Yeah.
But if you like took a couple of levels of pirate lord and then wanted to do something else, that makes sense and we're showing it in story. But now I could be a barbarian who whenever I rage, my dead family comes back and they're like,
that's so fucking
hey,
cool.
We're here to fuck shit up. And then I can take a level and then now when I rage, laser beams come out of my nipples. Like
laser beams.
I'm sick of systems putting their lore in my story. I don't give a I'm gonna keep saying this. I don't fuck with Valo. I don't know Tasha. I just give me the class. Just give me the class and I'll tell the story from there. Stop telling my story. Stop it. Just stop it. Please stop trying to tell my story for me.
Do we want to take like a quick 5-minute break and come back to this? Because
I'm
for
good
like an hour and a half.
I'm good to keep going. Like if you want to take a break?
I need to do bio and human things.
Oh, okay. In which case we'll go for it.
We're going to take like a quick 5-minute break, everybody, and we'll be back with the dark roast, even though we've kind of been doing a bit of a dark roast this morning anyways, but we'll see you soon. And we're back.
So while I was on break, I discovered very important news. And if you haven't heard it, I am very happy to be able to be the first to tell you that according to what the streets are saying, we got Daredevil season 4, baby. I am so excited.
I need to get caught up on it. I haven't watched any of season 3.
Season 1 is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Season 2, the first half of it where they introduced Punisher, whoo, GOAT level, but then back half it kind of peters out. Season 3 could be some of the best TV that Marvel has put out, and yes, I am including all of the Disney Plus shit.
Is it going to be on Disney Plus or on Netflix?
It looks like it's going to be a Disney Plus project. So, okay, so let me. I hear you. Iron Fist was so bad, and I need you to like really take this in. Iron Fist was so bad that in the second season they stopped showing him, and the show was about the Daughters of the Dragon, and that was like. You could see the writer's room going, we don't know how to write Iron Fist, but everybody loves Misty Knight. So they were just like, okay, let's make the show about the Daughters of the Dragon, and it is infinitely better. It's so good. It's Danny Rand was like the actor sucked, the writing sucked, and the martial arts sucked. And okay, so I've got a lot of feelings about Iron Fist. I've got a lot of feelings about a lot of things.
This morning. You're full of feelings today.
All right, so here we go. If you hate Iron Fist, I can't tell you any more therapeutic form of pettiness than to watch Iron Fist season 2, because you watch them phase Iron Fist out of his own show, and it is hilarious. And then not only do they phase him out of his own show, they take away his powers and give his powers to the two daughters of the dragon. So now they have the Iron Fist and not him, and it is brilliant. Is it a good show? No, it's not. But watching a entitled, non-talented, mediocre white guy getting ridden out of his own show and having the spotlight put on his superior supporting Black film and Asian film cast members, and watching, like, they knew the show was sunk, so they were just like, we're just gonna give it to y'all because nobody cares anymore. And if you stick around for that point, it gets so much better. It's so good. Like like they still have
and Misty Knight.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the actor for Danny Rand is still on contract, so they give him like 2 seconds an episode where he's just like, I can't do shit, and then the camera's like, all right, now let's get to what you really came here for. And it's so dope because it's just watching Colleen Wing and Misty Knight beat the brakes off of ninjas for an entire season, while Danny Rand is just like, I still suck.
Funny how canceling a show can bring out some fun creative stuff. Yeah, because they're still under contract. They still have to do the show, but now they can actually like expand and do what they fucking wanted to do to begin with, or just like
really, I like reading the behind the scenes stuff. They casted this guy who had no martial art ability at all, just none. And then they brought him on a week before filming, so he did have time to like learn the stunts or the choreography, and it fucking shows. And I'm like, why?
And he didn't want to train with the others, according to Werewolf.
Yeah, he first off, they were time crunched. Second off, this guy was a prick. Like, he was an entitled, mediocre white dude.
I think at that point he was still sort of living off the Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, and here, let me ask, can anybody remember who he played in Game of Thrones? No, because he sucks.
His sister was better. His sister in the Game of Thrones show was better than him anyways.
So that's why it's so much fun to watch the second season, where the writers literally yank this show away from him, and he's still in the show, and it's just like, they give him like a B side plot. The perfect way to explain it is, we're all familiar with the Buffy the Vampire ensemble, and we're aware of the screen time like Buffy gets in comparison to everybody else.
Yeah.
Colleen Wing and Misty Knight get the Buffy portion of the cake, and he gets the Xander portion. He's just
not even the Willow portion.
He's just there. It is so, like, God, Iron Fist was so trash. And the thing is, it shouldn't be trash, because the mythology behind Iron Fist is really kind of dope, and they just couldn't commit to anything.
Yeah,
they were like, okay, did Danny Rand actually get touched by a dragon or not? And they don't say. They don't really commit to it. And so then everybody's like, can we at least get the costume? And they keep alluding to the costume, but we never get the costume. Can we at least get good fight scenes, good choreography? And the actor was a shit. So the answer to that was no.
Yeah, there's so many people that have very little martial arts experience but still kill it, like Simu Liu. I still haven't watched um, Shang-Chi yet.
Well, do you know if Iron Fist was a success? Could you imagine Iron Fist going up against Shang-Chi? Oh my god, that would have been so fucking sick. Like, I don't know why they can't. Like, Marvel usually nails it on the casting. They did not on this one.
That was a miss. They don't always nail it on the casting. They don't.
On their heroes, they usually get it.
The first Hulk movie, though.
I will argue to the death of me that I loved Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. Look. I don't know why people shit on that movie.
It's a good movie. I just don't think that Edward Norton is a good Bruce Banner.
Edward Norton is a great Bruce Banner. The problem is Edward Norton is an asshole. Like, if Edward Norton would have just shut the fuck up and play ball, he would be. I maintain that there is a quiet rage in Edward Norton that translated very well to Bruce Banner in the first Hulk movie. And I know not nobody's gonna agree with me. I'm dying on this hill alone, but that last scene where he's meditating and then just kind of it's the scene where Bruce Banner learns to do the my secret, I'm always angry.
Yeah.
The last scene in The Incredible Hulk is where he learns to do that, where you see him sitting meditating, and then it's like days since last incident, and it goes 0 and his eyes are green. That I feel like that scene works because of Edward Norton, because like he's just this meek little white guy, but he's got that inner white rage that he's just gotta let out. And like it worked. I never thought Bruce Banner was supposed to be likable. And that's kind of my problem with Mark Ruffalo. I would love to hang out with Bruce Banner. Like, and I feel like that's a detriment. Bruce Banner is not a fun dude. Bruce Banner is not somebody you want to hang out with. He sucks.
Oh my god, werewolf. Is Danny Rand a draconic sorcerer or not? Make a decision. You can't just keep switching subclasses as a distraction, Danny.
Like, the sad thing is, Danny Rand is just a monk.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Fist is literally just a Dungeons and Dragons monk. That's it. That's truly it. Like, I can't, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
He's just a monk.
And not a good one.
Well, now, you shut your goddamn mouth.
We're going to talk about TV Iron Fist. Specifically.
Oh, okay, TV Iron Fist. TV Iron Fist is fucking trash. It's like, and here's why I put so much hate on the actor who played Danny Rand, because the same amount of time that he had to learn his shit, the actress for Colleen Wing and Misty Knight had to learn their shit. And in fact, I believe Misty had less time because she had to go directly from Luke Cage to Iron Fist. And she still knocked it out of the fucking park. So it's just like, what's your excuse, man?
Jessica Henwick is the actor.
I don't fucking know.
That's what AJ says.
Well, AJ is a professional simp, so I would
It's
believe
true.
him.
It's true. We saw all the Simtember videos.
Like, if you're in a simp emergency, you call AJ.
He will simplify things for you.
Oh my god, I don't.
Every time the dude said Kunlun, he pinned me.
it felt like an offensive term every time he said, like, I am the immortal Iron Fist. I am the immortal Iron Fist. I like half of his dialogue in the first season was telling people that he's the immortal Iron Fist.
That he's the immortal Iron Fist, and that he's also Danny Rand.
Yeah, just shut up.
Like the whole first season is him just trying to prove that he is who he says he is. And
it's the thing
not done well.
The thing is, and I really do hate this. Everybody brought their A game except the lead actor. Like, if you look at everybody acting around him, they're all killing it. Like, you know, his brother is played by the bad guy from The Crow, right?
Yeah.
And that dude kills it.
Yeah.
You got Trinity. Trinity's in this motherfucker, and she's killing it. You've got Colleen Wing killing it. Misty Knight killing it. All they needed was the protagonist. All they needed was Danny Rand to not suck. And
Danny Rand in the show had very "I have the power of God and anime on my side" vibes.
Very, very true. Very true. Like, and you know, Iron Fist marred a pretty good record that Marvel Netflix had. Like, Luke Cage was good. It wasn't great. It was good. Fucking Daredevil teetered between perfection and great. And Punisher was just, it's the Punisher. It's what you expect. And then we have Jessica Jones, which, holy shit. I got a lot of thoughts, but we gotta space them. I don't think anybody on Earth will disagree with me when I say that when you first heard Kristen Ritter was going to be Jessica Jones, your first thought was kind of like, what the fuck? The bitch from Apartment 13? Like, okay, I guess I'll see how it pans out. She knew the assignment. She got the assignment, and oh boy. And like, it's like the exact opposite of what happened with Iron Fist, where Kristen Ritter's performance was so good that literally anybody else in the cast could do whatever they wanted. And then you had David Tennant, who came to play
the fucking slimiest.
Like, the Doctor Who? Like, I ain't heard no doctor. That motherfucker was Kilgrave. And oh my God. To this day, no villain terrifies me more than Kilgrave. You can have your Ultron vision with the Mind Stones, Eden Galaxy type shit. You can have your Thanos. They don't frighten me. If they're gonna kill me, it's probably gonna be fast. But Kilgrave? But like, if you ask me if I had to bump into somebody down a dark alley, and it had to be a Marvel villain, who would it be? The last answer I would give you is Kilgrave, because that motherfucker's powers, they made that shit so terrifying. And I love that they showed that he uses his powers on accident because he forgets sometimes. It's just like, hey, could you pass me that? Oh, right. When I ask you, you have to. Like,
David Tennant is just also like a good actor in everything. Like, Good Omens is just so good.
I had only ever seen him as a good guy, though. Like, yeah. I had never seen like David Tennant go dark. And like, and this was the most disturbing kind of dark. And like, I need to really put a fucking spotlight on the fact that this motherfucker like I don't have any other words for it, but this was a character that if it wasn't handled properly, could have been really bad.
It's definitely one of those characters that had to be handled like had to be written well and written sensitively, because a lot of the content is very problematic with Kilgrave.
And the thing is, they never explicitly tell you what happened, but the context clues lead you to paint an even worse picture for yourself than if they were to tell you, which makes it even more terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Tennant is from the same area as you, like 2 towns over, Faye? That's awesome. Defenders was eh.
I still don't know how you fucked that up. I
could have been good. Could have been.
I don't know how you fucked that up. I really don't know how you fucked that up.
It was them trying to do the Avengers for TV and it failed.
I don't know how you fucked that up. Like, nothing hurts me more than the wasted potential of Defenders, and I blame it all on Iron Fist.
Personally, think Defender should have come before Iron Fist.
I think Iron Fist should have been scrapped. Like, Marvel has okay, you know what? You're right. In the fact that I said that Marvel always nails it with the heroes, they don't, because I'm sure a lot of us remember the failed project that was the Inhumans, right? Oh, I still haven't watched that.
How do you waste Anson Mount? Anson Mount is a phenomenal fucking actor, and you make him say nothing.
Anson Mount
was in shows like Hell on Wheels. He's Captain Pike in the Star Trek Discovery.
I thought you were talking about like the Bolton kid.
No, Anson Mount played the main king in Inhumans.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I like the casting for Black Bolt.
It's good casting, but the man is like, because Anson Mount's an amazing actor,
right?
But just it's wasted potential.
There's a way you gotta handle. There's a way you gotta handle Black Bolt. Like, Black Bolt is an amazing character. Like, this is a dude that if he goes, "What's up?" he blows up a planet. Like, if he talks even a little bit, it's a problem. And Medusa is a fucking Inhuman that can do literally anything with her hair. And you've got like it's like the X-Men on crack. And
they shaved Medusa like second episode.
Wait, what?
They shaved Medusa's hair. That's how they dealt with the Medusa problem. Is like the whole thing is the brother takes over and like has a coup, but they all managed to capture Medusa and they shave her head and send her to Earth.
This about to make me go into another rant, and I don't want to.
Inhumans is not good. I've watched a lot of Inhumans. I watched more Inhumans than I should. I think I watched 3 episodes, and I could not finish the series. I could not bring myself to finish it. Yeah, they all cornered Medusa, they pinned her down, and they shaved her head. And then sent her down to Earth with no powers.
I'm trying real hard not to do this. I'm trying real fucking hard.
Yeah, it's like telling me you hate women without telling me you hate women. So anyways, Critical Role and Gen Con.
No, fuck that. So, okay, we're getting into it. I am so sick and tired of female superheroes being nerfed in ensemble pieces. I've 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 had it. I call it the Storm problem. And here's what I mean by it. Do you realize that Storm's power is to control the fucking weather? What does that mean? That means go outside. You feel everything around you? Yeah, she controls that. So why is it in every ensemble, whenever there's a female superhero, the first person to get defeated, the first person to get nerfed, the first person to get shaved is the... You don't shave Medusa. You don't do it. You don't make Black Widow's solo movie bad guy
Harvey Weinstein?
You don't make him Harvey Weinstein, who uses the powers of pheromone to keep women in line. You don't make Storm limited to fucking lightning bolts, which is like they make it seem like it's the equivalent of Cyclops' optic blast, and it's not. She controls fucking weather.
Storm terraformed Mars.
I'm so, like, every time there's a group movie, the women character get shafted, and I'm so sick of it because some of my, like, do you realize, let's keep it 110% a buck. If you take all of the X-Men and you put them together in a line, right? Do you realize that the top 10 X-Men would probably all be women? Do you realize that? You don't if you've only watched the movies, because the movies only focus on the guys, and Wolverine is the least interesting X-Men out of all of them.
Or they
and
take
he's
away
got
the
50-11 movies, and I'm fucking sick of it.
Or they take away the women characters' agency in giving them even more powers, i.e. Phoenix.
Do you realize that Lady Deathstrike was in an X-Men movie, and she had exactly 0 lines, and she's just as badass, if not more badass than Wolverine. She's got the same powers as him, except they come out of her fingernails, and she had one line in the movie.
Susan Storm is the strongest member of the Fantastic Four. Movies don't show it.
Susan Storm is like one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe collectively. Do you realize that she has both Doctor Doom and Namor and Mr. Fantastic all simping for her, and she's just like, man, fuck all of y'all. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. It's just, it's like, okay, there's no greater crime of this happening. There's no greater crime of a female character being absolutely nerfed than Gamora and Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you realize that in the Marvel universe, her nickname is the most deadly woman in the universe? Where do you see that in Guardians of the Galaxy? No, like,
you don't.
Peter Quill, Star-Lord, is supposed to be a joke. He's not a hero. Like, Peter Quill in the comic books accidentally wins sometimes, very, very narrowly, and always with the help of somebody better than him. Gamora can kill anybody. And they made her just a plastic love interest to Peter Quill, who sucks. Like, he sucks. And I want Rocket Raccoon to have his Cockney accent like he's supposed to. I'm so angry. They can't keep getting away with it. They can't, like, that's why I was so scared about Captain Marvel, because I'm like, how you gonna nerf Captain Marvel? And they didn't, thank God, but they don't know what to do with her, so they're just like, she goes off into space sometimes. Carol Danvers is one of my favorite characters. I loved her when she was Miss Marvel, and I've loved her as Captain Marvel, but she'll always have a special spot in my heart as Miss Marvel, because after, like, during House of M, when Wanda did her whole no more mutants, she created this perfect world where pretty much everybody got the ideal version of what they wanted in life. And in the House of M world, Miss Marvel was basically Superman. Everybody loved her. She was the hero. She had the same clout, recognition, and admiration as like a Captain America, right? And then House of M ends, and then all that shit goes away, and she's just Miss Marvel again. But she remembers when the world loved her like she was Superman, and it pisses her off. Like, that's the thing. And for all you idiots that watch Captain Marvel, you go, well, she's unlikable. I got news for you, fam. That's her character.
That's it.
Like, there is an issue of Captain Marvel where the Skrulls are invading, and her thought bubble is like, thank God, because I need to kill something, and this gives me a very simple thing to find and kill. And she just swoops down, and she takes the Skrull, and she just flies up to space and just watches him suffocate, and just goes, I needed this. This is good. This is self-help. I don't, like, you can call that girl bossing if you want to. I just think that that's a badass. She's like a drunk, angry soldier that just needs somebody to kill most days to get by. And I love that. And like they've kind of done it in the MCU, but the problem is a lot of guys are, I guess, feel a type of way about it. I'm ranting and I'm sorry,
You're
but
okay.
I just we know that it can work. Carol Danvers has proven that you gonna have butt mad boy babies, but fuck them. Let's give our female superheroes the treatment that we give them in the comic books, because they're fucking awesome in the comic books. Not have Harvey Weinstein villains that are just like, the power of my Axe body spray makes it so you can't punch me. Like, I just want Storm to be Storm. Do you realize she's Storm? If Storm has a bad day, she can make a tsunami happen in Vegas.
If Captain Marvel had been a man, I don't think anyone would have had the complaints about her personality. No, you're right. Because an unlikable woman is a sin, but an unlikable man is somehow admirable.
Guys can only handle unlikable women if they don't say anything.
Or if they get killed in the second act.
Like, you know, I'm so glad that superhero movies are moving away from the mandatory love interest, because it doesn't work. It never fucking works. Stop it. I'm looking at you, Thor. I'm scared about the next Thor. Don't.
I'm mostly excited about the next Thor movie for Natalie Portman's arms.
Like, how many TikToks do we need of muscle mommies with millions of people going, praise Jesus, please punch me to death, before Hollywood gets that, okay, maybe we can have powerful women on the team. Like, I'm also terrified about the She-Hulk movie, because I love She-Hulk so much, and I'm very scared. I'm very, very scared.
Tatiana Maslany, though, is going to kill it. She's such a good actor.
I don't, look, a good actor is nothing if the writing sucks.
That's true. That's fair.
She-Hulk
is a show, yeah.
Yeah, She-Hulk is going to be, I hope it's going to be good. Like, and I hope that they keep giving her, I hope that they give her the ability to break the fourth wall, because She-Hulk has always had that.
She did that before Deadpool did that.
Oh, God, and I'm so sick of Deadpool. I'm sick of Ryan Reynolds in general. Like, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but if I see this motherfucker on my screen one more goddamn time, I'm going to absolutely go bonkers. We've had enough of the Ryan Reynolds. Just stop it. Anyway, that's our rant there.
Good soup.
But good soup. But since we're getting Daredevil season 4, that means that all of the Netflix shows are apparently canon, but everything's canon now that we're going multiverse, baby. I want to talk about that What If episode so bad, but like I know it just came out.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say this. And I also unfortunately had the end credit scene of Venom spoiled for me. I'm not gonna do that to y'all, but what I will say is that Marvel's leaning into this multiverse shit, y'all. Like, in a very real way. And okay. Spoiler warning for the end of Venom, because I do want to talk about this. Yeah. So if you don't like spoilers, now's the time to leave.
So if you want to mute the stream, you can mute the stream. We'll give you this symbol when you're clear.
Venom 2.
Venom 2. Let There Be Carnage.
The one that just came out.
Are they gonna call it the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, the MCA?
I think yeah. I think that's where they have to go. But all right, so we got our spoilers up.
So spoiler starts now.
So the end credit scene of Venom 2 is Eddie sitting and just chilling with Venom. And Venom is basically going, look, I'm going to show you all of the shit that I've experienced as a symbiote so you can kind of understand me better. And he starts to do that. And when he starts to do that, there is a flicker of Spider-Man 3 for a hot second. And then the world around them shifts. And they're in like a hotel in Hawaii. And the news is playing, and it's J. Jonah Jameson reporting about the unveiled identity of Spider-Man. And it's Tom Holland's Spider-Man on the scene. And then we see Venom glaring at Tom Holland's Spider-Man, clearly pissed off. And the theory is that the symbiotes can talk to each other across multiverses. So this Venom has beef with that Spider-Man because of what Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man did to that Venom. And I'm like, fuck, that's actually kind of good. That's actually kind of clever. I don't know how to feel, y'all. I don't like it's
spoilers.
It's good.
Spoilers done?
Yeah.
Spoilers done.
It's butts. It's good. And like, I love these clever shortcuts to bringing all of these properties together. But we can't have the Fox X-Men. We can't. Like, we cannot. There's nothing good there. There's nothing to salvage.
Just burn it to the ground.
Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the Venom movies, but like, it worked enough where I'm like, okay, let's bring it on over. But I don't want them to bring over the X-Men.
The Foxmen.
Yeah, the Foxmen. I just can't. Can they have Darwin be the one?
Selfish. Yes. Okay, we have one exception. It's one thing.
I don't want. I would love for his powers to actually not have let him die, but sent him to the MCU.
Darwin can survive any crossover. Darwin still lives in our hearts.
Do you know how racist you have to be like, we need to kill a mutant? Who do we got on the table? Well, we got this mutant Pixie. She flies, has wings. All right, we've got Cyclops' little brother Havoc. He's okay, I guess. All right, who else do we have? We have Darwin. What does he do? His mutant ability is that he can survive anything. Kill that Blackie. What? Kill him. How?
It's not just that, it's like the way that he dies too. Is like they drown him? That's right.
No, he gets booped. No, he gets booped in the nose by Kevin Bacon and dies.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was just to show how powerful the villain was. Yeah, and that's a fucking cop-out.
I'll never understand. Like, everything about the this is probably too big a statement to make, but everything about the Foxmen was led by racist and sexist beliefs in what the audience wants.
Yeah, like Emma Frost walking around in lingerie all day. I mean,
time out. I want that. I'm part of the problem, and I make no apologies for it. No, fuck you. Look, okay, let's have it out.
Okay.
You gonna tell me that if you had the option of 90s Rogue being in a movie, dressed like 90s Rogue, you wouldn't take it?
Not fair.
What? The defense rest.
Like, well, that's a thing, though. It's like she's... The entire movie, though? The whole time!
Audience, if you had the option of 90s Rogue appearing in the movies as 90s Rogue, you know the outfit with the leather jacket and all.
90s Rogue is unfair. Flag on the play.
What was that? What was that?
Yeah, Mystique is always naked.
I hated that. Just give her dress with the skull belt. Why not? Why not? Why not?
I have
I hated the Mystique redesign.
I also hated First Class. I hated the movie First Class.
Whoa, let's relax. let's chill out a little bit.
I did not like it. Did not care for it.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just also give me all the skin tight men too. You think I don't want to see 90s Cyclops? You think I don't want brown and orange Wolverine on the scene wrecking shit up? You got that right. I want it all. Give it to me. And don't give me that bullshit fucking line piped jackets with the undersleeve horse shit that Marvel keeps giving all of their heroes. I'm sick of it. Give
me 90s Gambit, not Channing Tatum.
Now, hold on. All right. There's a lot of things that I'm willing to endure, but I'm not willing to endure any Channing Tatum's slander.
No Channing Tatum slander on your timeline?
Not here. Not on my morning ritual. That man works too damn hard. Morning ritual. Channing Tatum can come to the cookout. You don't make Jump Street 22 and 23 and it be get insulted. Are you out of your mind? Apologize.
21 Jump Street was good. I will give Channing Tatum that, but he was not Gambit.
Channing Tatum was supposed to play Gambit, but they canceled that.
They switched that up.
Yeah, you're talking about Taylor. What's his face?
Yeah. Oh, they're all like mediocre white guys, except for Channing Tatum. But you know, they're kind of interchangeable at this point.
Like first off, and I may get in some trouble with my LGBTQ community for this one. Bryan Singer is an asshole, and I fucking hate him.
No, Bryan Singer is trash.
I don't know if he's problematic or not, but what I do know is that he demanded no comic books on the scenes of the first X-Men movies. You know, the X-Men were always kind of like, you know, placeholders for the story of the civil rights, and I absolutely love that being expanded to tell the story of the plight of the LGBTQ. But it's just like, if you're going to do that, also pay respects to what it was initially about. And instead, we got Halle Berry giving up on her accent halfway through the movie and delivering one of the worst lines I've ever seen in a movie. Do you know what happens to a frog that gets hit by lightning? The same thing as everything else.
Oh yeah, Bryan Singer's had a whole bunch of like misconducts with underage men.
Really?
Oh yeah, trash.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I hate that line so much. This motherfucking could. Do you realize that storm on a bad day could cause the earthquake that makes California fall into the sea? Like, do you realize that storm is one temper tantrum away from making every volcano on Earth erupt? Do you realize that she could fucking cause a tsunami in Vegas? I just and that's the line you give her in her bullshit
Weather Goddess versus Froggy.
That's the line you give her in her bullshit half attempted African accent that she gave up on mid-movie. Like, you can see the scene where she's just like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to do this any longer. I've tried to do this accent and I don't want to do it any longer. So I'm just going to talk like this for the rest of the movie. Like, what the fuck? Don't let D hear you. Hold on. D has ranted about how not once is Storm done. Storm hasn't been done. Do you really? She is like she's like supposed to be like a 6-foot goddess.
Noir, your accent was better than hers.
Okay, yeah, Storm is 5'11".
She's almost 6 feet.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, sorry, I got neighbors shouting in the fucking everywhere. So I got distracted for a second.
ADHD.
But my brain was like, danger. I mean, but we've had 3 Spider-Man, we've had 3 Storms, and like I just how are we missing all these characters that are so easy to get right? And how are we hitting on characters that would be so easy to get wrong? Do you know how hard it is to do Captain America right? And they did it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Bo says it doesn't matter how tall Storm is when she turns you to ash.
Yeah,
can we get a good Fantastic Four too?
I don't know why it's so hard for them to do the Fantastic Four when they just did Lost in Space correctly.
That's literally all you have to do. Is
Lost in Space. If you do Lost in Space, congratulations. You've made a good Fantastic Four movie.
Fantastic Four is a wacky sci-fi high science fiction romp.
And I'll never forgive them for casting Mads Mikkelsen as villain number 3 in Doctor Strange when he should have been Doctor Doom.
Agree.
Who we gonna get to play Doctor Doom now? Who's got it? Who's got the sauce?
Anson Mount would have made an amazing Doctor Reed Richards.
Well, I have a fan casting for Doctor Doom, and I hate myself for doing it because this motherfucker's casted for everything. But I think it works. I would cast, and I need you to understand that I hate myself for this. I would cast Henry Cavill as Doctor Doom.
Bold choice.
I hate myself for this. I truly do. I'm not happy with this choice. But I'm like, fuck. That'd be good.
Do you think that Warner Brothers would let him cross platforms, though?
He's not Superman anymore.
That's true.
And also, I have decided that I'm going to stick with my original fan casting of Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. Y'all can meet me in the pit. You can fight me if you want to. Daniel Radcliffe would be the perfect Wolverine, and I don't give a shit what nobody's got to say about it.
Let's talk for a second about cursed castings, because Bo just threw one in the chat.
Michael Cera. I would. No, you know what? Who would I legitimately have Michael Cera play? Like, if I had to cast him as a Marvel character, who would I have? I know exactly who I'd have him play.
Who?
So the X-Men have a villain named Arcade. And I would have Michael Cera play Arcade. Arcade is essentially like a Batman villain that somehow ended up in the Marvel the Marvel universe, where his whole shtick is like he has a deadly arcade and motherfuckers got to make it out. And so a lot of motherfuckers don't make it out. And I love the idea of Michael Cera being responsible for essentially putting Marvel heroes in a game of Saw.
WB would be up in arms if they cast Henry Cavill as Sentry. Whoo! That's a spicy cast.
For Sentry, I need somebody that has a little bit more. I need somebody that can just play off the wall. Just a big dude that can play off the wall. Because Sentry's got this whole other side that's just, oops, I forgot murder was a bad thing.
Sounds like a video game, Mad Hatter. You're not wrong.
Do you know who I would have play Sentry? The dude who played Jaime Lannister.
Oh shit.
That's my Sentry.
Hyperion, yeah. Or Hyperion.
Oh, yeah. Seth Rogen. Who the fuck would I have Seth Rogen play in the Marvel Universe? I really don't want him to play.
I think Michael Cera would do a good voice as Herbie in the Fantastic Four movie.
I refuse to acknowledge that Herbie was a thing in the Fantastic Four.
The only reason Herbie exists is because they didn't want kids setting themselves on fire. So they couldn't have Johnny Storm. Yeah, Hyperion was who you were thinking? Yeah. Rowan Atkinson. Who'd Rowan Atkinson play?
Rowan Atkinson. And that's Mr. Bean, if I
correct.
recall correctly. Rowan Atkinson, I would have play
Michael Cera as the Thing. Jesus Christ.
I would have Rowan Atkinson play the Thinker.
Ooh. Not bad.
Yeah, I can do this casting all day, baby. You give me an actor and I'll find a role for him.
Like I said, let's do cursed casting though. Like,
yeah, I'm trying. Well, I can't, because then I have to like imagine it, and it's not like, if you want cursed casting, just imagine Lindsay Lohan as Jean Grey.
Oof.
Yeah, see, it sucks. It hurts.
Gilbert Gottfried is Cyclops.
You know what? Like it. I can't. I've watched 2 Britney Spears documentaries now, and I think I accidentally got turned into a Britney simp. But Britney Spears should be the Dazzler, and I don't care what anybody says.
That would be such good casting.
Taika Waititi as Wolverine. Like, you joke, but I think that would be dope.
Taika Waititi can play pretty much anything, though. Sky Jackson as Storm, probably a young Storm. Don't know who Sky Jackson
is.
I don't know who Sky Jackson is either. Interesting.
Like, what? Like, I'm sick of the Marvel universe. So like, why does DC still suck? Can somebody tell me? And also, why does Vertigo and Image also suck? Like, we watch Bloodspot or one with Vin Diesel where he's essentially Deadpool.
Bloodsport.
That
Deadpool without the humor
was bland and unseasoned as shit. Like, we gotta get Marvel some competition, because motherfuckers ain't out here doing it.
Yeah, that was some microwave chicken, the movie.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's about right though.
That's fucking gross. And it just hit me why Wizards, like, you guys got to deal with my ADHD. I apologize. It just hit me why Wizards is forcing all their horseshit lore and like Volo and Tasha and all this kind of shit. Because if they're gonna do movies, then they're gonna need us to be familiar with these characters, and I don't want that.
Shazam is underrated. Shazam is a great movie.
Shazam is a great movie. Terribly underrated.
Terribly underrated movie. I will hear no Shazam slander on my timeline.
Shazam is honestly one of the top 3 DC movies out. Like, I mean, that's not saying
That's not saying much. It's a Wonder Woman. Not 84, the first one.
Yeah, 84 was trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you like it, but it was not good.
It was okay. But I think that there's a lot of things they definitely could have done.
Was it okay?
Okay. On the spectrum of DC movies.
Holy shit, that bar is so low.
It's so low. It's just above it, though.
Is it though?
Shazam, the first Wonder Woman movie, and... What's your top 3, then? What's number 3?
Well, you already started doing your top 3. Don't check it out at the last one and then put it on my plate.
Shazam, Wonder Woman, and I liked Birds of Prey. I'm gonna say Birds of Prey.
All right, so for me, it is, and my top 3, I'm telling you right now, is wrong. I'm telling you right now that there is a movie that makes my top 3 that absolutely does not belong there. It is a bad movie. I fundamentally understand this. And the only reason it's in my top 3 is for 2 scenes and a soundtrack. I need you to understand that I'm entirely aware of this. And I apologize. That said, my top 3 is Shazam, and I need you to understand, I know that I'm wrong.
It's okay to be wrong.
Shazam, Suicide Squad, the new one.
The Suicide Squad. That's the difference.
The Suicide Squad. And Man of Steel. Now, I know I'm wrong. I know Man of Steel has no business being on any top 3 movie list. I know that. Okay? There's nothing you can tell me that I'll disagree with. You can say, no, are you wrong? And you know what? You are right. I know I'm wrong. But that soundtrack and the scene where he learns to fly, y'all, That's all I've ever wanted in a Superman movie. And like, I got that. Like, and then the rest of the movie was bad, and they were flying dildos, and Michael Shannon was swinging for the fences with every line that he said. And then there was like 9/11 disaster porn everywhere that didn't need to be there, and so many people died, and Superman didn't save anybody. And I'm aware of all of this. That said, that soundtrack bops.
Not just that. He snaps the villain's neck.
Which is not awesome. It's not Superman. It's not good. It's not a good movie. It's not.
That's the only good scene, though. AJ agrees with you, though. You have one person in this chat.
I'm aware that this movie is not good, and I'm apologizing for giving like, if you hear this and you're like, maybe I should watch it because he likes it, don't do that. Like, it's not a good movie.
Man of Steel had a criminal lack of Clark Kent.
And like, I'm still very much discovering a lot about myself. But the 4 seconds of Clark Kent in that movie, my God, that man was attractive. He was hotter as Clark than he was as Superman, which makes no motherfucking sense to me whatsoever. Like, Superman's like, Clark Kent's supposed to be this dork, like, like, I'm from the fucking Midwest. We're strange. Oop, I better get on out of here.
Oh, gotta scooch past ya.
gotta scooch. But this motherfucker came in to the Daily Planet with sunglasses and like, not even like the traditional business suit, just like a blazer and a shirt. And I'm like, how are you hotter than Superman? Like, usually the joke is like, how can you not tell Clark is Superman just because of glasses? I wouldn't think that Clark is Superman because Clark is objectively hotter than Superman. Like, in Man of Steel, for the 4 seconds he's Clark Kent, at the end, the Clark Kent that we know with the glasses and Halo, he's much hotter than Superman, which makes no sense. And like, I had feelings. I was like, what is this? Why I gotta wiggle?
To be fair, Henry Cavill does that to a lot of people.
Like, and that's the thing. That's why I'm so sick of like everybody be like, straight guys don't know how to handle Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds can quite literally kick rocks. But if Henry Cavill comes around and he reloads those arms, I might trip and land on the dick. Like,
reloads the arms so hard that a beard shows up.
I ain't never seen arms get reloaded, but I felt things when I saw it. I had to tamp it down. Like, hold on. That ain't for us.
Or is it?
But run that back a few words. Like, my man did this with his arms and my brain went, like, don't you make sound effects for his biceps? You cut that out, gay brain. He was just like, I'm here. I'm like, I ain't never seen a motherfucker reload their arms before. Where they do that at? Where they teach that? Did the director make him do that? Or did Henry Cavill? Does he just reload his... And
the true KHM does reloading biceps. Semi-automatic biceps.
Here's something that I need y'all to understand. Like, I'm a huge movie buff. So I remember Henry Cavill in Stardust, which is one of my favorite movies that has the person that would end up being Daredevil,
Charlie Cox
in it. And it's a great movie. And in that movie, Henry Cavill plays the popular guy who has the attention of the girl that Charlie Cox wants. And then Charlie Cox goes on this grand adventure, meets a new love interest, becomes his true heroic self, and no longer has interest in the girl that Henry Cavill has. And he just kind of like humiliates his bully. And
yes, he is.
Henry Cavill was not like you know how like a Pokemon is still a Pokemon, but when it evolves, it's no longer that Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like Henry Cavill in Stardust is like
Charmeleon.
Fuck it. It's Charmeleon, right?
That then, level form.
Right. And then he gets casted in Superman. And so like as soon as that happened, they rush out another movie that he was in called Immortals, where it was this really bad movie about these Olympian gods, and like everybody was dressed in gold, and he played like Perseus or some shit, and it was a really bad movie. But this is when he started to get a little buff, because Henry Cavill was a little chubby dude for a while there, so he started to get a little buff. So he was lean and a little muscular, but not the bulk Henry Cavill that we know. So then that's the
Henry Cavill that wears out the armor in The Witcher.
And then Superman. And I'm like, okay, he's a good looking Superman. Okay, I dig it. And then this how do you out sexy Superman playing just a dude in Mission Impossible that apparently needs to reload his arms? I don't know.
What was it? We Don't Talk About Not 300. Stardust is a movie that's based off of a Neil Gaiman novel of the same title. And basically a falling star comes to Earth and she has a mortal form. And a guy goes and tries to make a wish on it. And shenanigans ensue.
That fight scene where the witch is controlling the corpse.
Yeah.
Yo, that's still one of my fucking favorites.
That's such a good movie.
Oh man, we got a couple people getting banned today.
Yeah, Sphinx has been on it. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Sphinx. Yeah, Henry Cavill has actually been in a lot of movies that you probably love. He just wasn't baked yet. Like that, he wasn't done cooking.
He hadn't reached his final form.
Just like in the original 300, I didn't know that Magneto was in that movie, but he is.
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah. You remember the line? The guys like, we'll rain down arrows, and then somebody's like, then we'll fight. Gerard Butler's like, then we'll fight in the shade. And then the arrows come down, and a guy goes, "You had to tell him we'll fight in the shade, didn't you?" That's Michael Fassbender.
Huh. He was microwave chicken. Just saw Dune, pleasantly surprised. Ooh.
I don't know if I want to see Dune, because I know that it's gonna have a 100% lack of Sting and a Speedo.
and crap, what's his name?
Oh, from Twin Peaks?
Yeah. You know who I was talking. Kyle MacLachlan. Not Tom. Kyle.
Kyle
MacLachlan.
Is that really his name?
Yeah, his name's Kyle. Unfortunate. The only Kyle I trust.
What the fuck is this episode even? We're just talking shit about movies and shit.
That's pretty much every episode though, but it's just us.
I agree. I don't think that we can end this episode, however, without talking about the TV show that has just hit pop culture like a fucking Warhammer. And that is Squid Games. We have finished Squid Games. And if you have not watched Squid Game, you need to watch Squid Game. It is holy shit. holy shit, it's good.
Uh,
It
Anybody
some
that
of
has a
this,
problem with gore, miss it. Or violence, miss it. Yeah, there's some pretty. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't.
yeah. The scene the the la the, the second to last game.
I mean, okay, it's not Saw level, but it's like Punisher Warzone level,
Yeah, it's very violent. It is very
which is
violent.
barely any better. But yeah, it's so good. I am loving the sketches, the comedy that's coming out of it. Like RDC World just did a sketch of if black people were in Squid Games in the game that they select as basketball. And you just see all the white people going, "This is bullshit."
There's a couple where it's like Canadian Squid Game, but it's like the Dalgona candy, and they make it in the shape of Nunavut. Which, if you're Canadian, you know.
I'm very excited for what comes next. It's really just
People are discovering Korean shows for the first time, and it's making people more excited to watch K-dramas.
Yeah. My siblings have been on the K-drama kick for some time, and so this is really giving me that push to kind of see what else is out there. Because I came into it ready to hate. I came into Squid Game ready to be like, this is trash. I don't fuck with this. I don't want to fuck with this. I don't know why people are hyping it, but everything from the atmosphere to the soundtrack to the acting was just top notch. And I recently had a job interview, and we got on the topic of Squid Game, and they hadn't finished it. And they were like, well, our next meeting is going to be pretty much a formal, like just a steak dinner type interview. And I was just like, you haven't finished Squid Game. Like, no, why? And I was just like, because I'm going to be ready for that interview. I'm going to be ready for that steak dinner.
The first episode is a roller coaster.
Oh, God. I feel like they could have done more with the ending, but, you know, we'll see.
I think they might be building it up for a second season.
Yeah, and I don't. So here's my problem with the second season, which is all of my interest was in the Squid Game. Like, I don't know if you could tell a good story outside of the Squid Game that can compete with the Squid Game. You know, like, I want new games. I loved how they took these children's games and made them like Tug of War gives me nightmares now. Hopscotch is terrifying. Like, holy shit. Like,
it's on Netflix, yeah.
I would love, like, and a part of me got thinking, like, I would love to run characters through a bit of a Squid Game type scenario. Like, that seems perfect for the Feywild.
That would be like
that seems exactly like something the Fey would do.
That would also be a good Fear Itself game, because Fear Itself can be deadly.
And I've been sitting and trying to work on how to build mechanics around that. And I'm just like, because like I'm doing a lot of work with the Feywild, and they just came out with this new Feywild book. It's probably like, you know, Daryl's Guide to the Feywild or whatever. It's called like Witchlighter.
Yeah, Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Yeah. I'm not gonna get into it again. But it is
basically Saw crossed with kids games.
Right. It's Saw mixed with Battle Royale mixed with kids games, and it's really good. And I don't know. I think
Non-combat related roles to have the tension of having the tension of combat roles.
Like if you look at the first game, it is like the way that I would. I'm gonna give up the ghost. I've actually started writing the first game's rule set a little bit, which is you have a goal which is so far from the players, and if they move their full movements, or if they take the dash action, in order to stop without moving, they have to make a dexterity check. And if you dash, it's harder. If you just move your full movement speed, it gets a little less harder. And if you move half your movement speed instead, it gets even easier. And then there are ways you can like affect other people. And I'm looking forward to test running that and seeing if that works. And also, it is a straight save or die. Like, if just there is no like, okay, you're gonna take hit point damage. It's just like if you fail that save, you're in your death state. And so I'm very eager to try and build the rules for the rest of the games. Tug of war would obviously be a strength check.
Opposed athletics checks.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm looking at a lot of the maneuvers that they used in Squid Games and trying to factor them into how we play them. For example, if somebody does get downed, they can reach out and grab for you, which is then a grapple check, which may or may not have an effect on your dexterity save for the stop. And it's just very cool. And so
hiding behind somebody as you walk, so it's harder to get spotted by the bot.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. That would be like a stealth check.
No, it would just give you a bonus to your dexterity save. Or you would get advantage on your dexterity save.
And then the checks would probably have to scale at a certain point when there's less people on the field.
Gotta be honest, I think the comparisons to Saw are completely inaccurate. The motivation is drastically different behind the games and each
That's
series.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Saw other than it's like death traps. So you're probably completely right on that one.
There is a certain level of agency as well in Squid Game, and incentive to win versus Saw, where it's just like you get kidnapped and now you have to escape or die. That's true. Coordination check to move, smoothly move in step with the person that you're hide behind. Like, that would be like a dexterity, sort of.
Well, so here's how I would rule that on the fly. If you are chasing behind somebody, that's going to give you advantage on your save. However, if they fail their save, then that makes you roll your dexterity save again because they stop suddenly. And even if you stop well, you can still get, you will still have to make another dexterity save because they failed so epically, they might bring you down with them. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to try and get out, seeing how people like it. I'm clearly ripping something off, so whatever.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, there's plenty of games, like, there's plenty of itch.io games that are based off properties. Like, there's a John Wick style game on itch that you can play. Like,
I feel like no system is better than John Wick than the Spy game. Y'all really gotta play that shit. It's amazing. But yeah, I kind of want to play John Wick. Like, okay, so. I've got a lot of ideas.
Is this the idea section of the?
But yeah, and I went on a huge post last night. I was high as shit and was listening to music and doing some cleaning. And there is if you know anything about me, you know that I have been running the same setting for a very long time. And in the back of my head, I have been wanting to create a new setting. And I finally think I have settled on the aesthetic and the inspiration for my new setting, which is World War I era. And it's heavily because of the influence of the Deer Hunter and the Black Parade. And I could go in about this, and like we are already at like what, almost 3 hours, and this would be another 3 hours in the book easily. And I don't think anybody cares about me going through the lore of the Deer Hunters Axe albums and the lore of the Black Parade. But when I tell you that the Black Parade has an amazing lore to it, and it's so good. It's so good. And you mix these two groups together, and you mix the stories together, and it's this real gritty, low magic setting that has magical elements, but they're presented in a way that is
like the oracles on the train, where it's almost
happenstance. Yeah, it's almost happenstance, where it would be very easy for you to confuse magic for serendipity. And I wanna play it. And I would use the spy system easily, because they kind of get rid of the magic part.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would probably allow a few classes from traditional D&D. Like I would probably let the warlock still exist. I would probably let the bard still exist. And like there's some
when you're talking about like the Deer Hunter and like the axe, and you say warlock, I'm like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Like it's so good. Like, and I'm starting to so I'm going back, and I've been heavily inspired by Diana Super Dillon, who is running a campaign based on the stories of Coheed and Cambria. And if you haven't read the Armory Wars, I highly recommend it. A lot of the albums that we listen to are concept albums, and we either don't know or we just don't care. Deer Hunters has a series of 5 albums, and they're called the Axe series. And the long and short of it is the story of the son of a prostitute who ends up going back to the city that his mother ran away from, becomes a soldier, finds his half-brother during the war. His half-brother dies to protect him, and he takes his identity going forward. He comes back home under the identity of his brother, becomes mayor, and tries to fight the village bad guy. But the village bad guy knows the truth about his identity and thus corrupts him until the boy decides, even if it costs me my life, I'm going to expose this guy for the bad guy that he is. And he does so, and a lynch mob kills him. That's the story of the Deer Hunters Axe series in a nutshell. It's really so a small summary, but it's so much better than what I just described to you. Now, the story of the Black Parade is the story of Death visiting a cancer patient, and telling the kid that he's about to die and explaining how the afterlife works. But in talking to this kid, begins to form a sympathetic bond and tries to get the kid to wake up, and so that he doesn't have to take him to the other side. But the kid realizing that it's his time to go and accepting that, and in celebration of this kid, taking the responsibility and going to the other side, Death sings his song and guides him to the other side, which is the Black Parade. And the Black Parade sings the story of this kid as they send him to heaven or hell, depending on which version of Famous Last Words you listen to. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is these albums have a story and a lore that's consistent with each other that I desperately want to bring to TTRPG in a World War I low magic setting that I think would be really fucking awesome. And I'm starting to listen to AFI again because they have a concept album that kind of fits into the darker, more fantastical elements of it. But that comes later.
You just spoke to my little emo heart when you said AFI.
Yeah. There's lore behind the song. Which song? But yes. But if you're asking if there's lore behind the Black Parade, when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. That is the Grim Reaper telling the story of the cancer patient that he is getting ready to take to the other side. He said, son, when you grow up, will you be a savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? Like, that's them celebrating this kid's life as they take him to wherever he goes next.
Yeah.
And what's really awesome about the Black Parade is they give you the backstory of the Grim Reaper, which is actually just another wayward soul who has to guide other people to the afterlife, and Mama. And look, just go to my Twitter. I kind of broke it all down, but yes. It's a whole story. It's fucking amazing, and I want to build a world around it.
Every MCR album is a whole novel.
The story of three Cheers for Sweet Revenge is actually a exact follow-up to their very first album. Their very first album ends with these two lovers in a Bonnie and Clyde type situation, and the boy's lover dies. And the very first song in Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge is Helena. And it's the story of the boy going to the funeral of his Bonnie, essentially. And the story, as I understand it, for Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, is the boy makes a deal with the devil to give the devil 100 evil souls, and he will restore the life of his fallen love. And so the entire album is about him killing other people, getting caught, going to jail, getting out of jail, realizing that he has become something evil, but he's already in for a penny, in for a pound, so he continues the killing. And then the final song of Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge is essentially the devil going, well, surprise, the 100th evil soul that I need for you to give me is yours because you are evil, more evil than the 99 men you killed. And it's the boy deciding whether he's going to end himself to bring his love back or not, which I think is a very amazing story. I love listening to the story in albums. Like, there's such good shit in there. And I want to build TTRPGs around conceptual albums.
I saw a TikTok the other day, yesterday, where this person is working on a system where you build a playlist based on music, and and the songs and the lines in the songs can affect what you do in the game. So, like, it sounded very interesting in concept. I'm just wondering how it will work in execution.
I would have to see that. That sounds interesting, but I don't know how to implement my love of conceptual albums as a player. As a GM, it's much easier. You just bring the world from the stories into the game, but that's a toughie. That is a toughie. But yeah, if you're a GM and you're looking for inspiration, always look to concept music albums because nobody pays attention to that shit, and there's some really good stories in there.
Mm-hmm. Songs are finite in time, sessions are several hours long. So the way that as you level up, you would get more songs. Like you'd start off with like 5 songs on your playlist, and as you level up, you could add more songs. And say you're in a situation where like you need to escape a scene, you have a line in a song that's like "Run to the hills, run for your life." To use that as an example, you can be like, "I have athletics because this line in this song."
Okay. That's I'm gonna need to see that TikTok.
I have to find it. I thought I favorited it for some reason. TikTok's not saving any of my favorites anymore.
Taking
I
the
think I'm on
idea of a
favorite
concept
probation.
taking the idea of a concept album into a band telling the stories they've witnessed. Yeah, that's fuck you. God damn it. I'm stealing that. Oh shit. Um there was something else that I saw that right. There is a TikTok going on about how do you implement level 20 players into your game. Level 20 NPCs into your game. And there is this guy going off giving tons of examples like Artificer Gnome who got tired of battle, so now he, once a year he makes toys for everybody in the kingdom or something like that. And it got me toying around. In my world, there are multiple level 20 individuals walking about, and I've always GM'd with the perspective of the world exists despite what my players do. Like if my players do something, then the world will continue. If my players do nothing, then the world will continue. And that means inherently that you're not necessarily going to be stronger than everybody you talk to, and you're not going to be weaker than everybody you talk to. There's really no real way to gauge the abilities of a random person other than through divination magic. And the thing is, if you're trying to use divination magic on somebody that is much more powerful than you and they don't want people to know, then they probably have already employed several methods to keep you from knowing.
Or to catch you in the act.
Right. And it's just like, I saw a lot of people check out that TikTok and they were kind of surprised at the idea that, you could just have random epic level people walking around the world, and that just seems strange to me. I don't know. So they have Camelot in space. So it's
a band called The Mechanisms.
Oh, I'm definitely checking that out after this is over. But yeah. So that's the project that I'm working on now, is just creating a brand new setting, far and away from the Trouble in the Second City stuff and Gloria stuff. I want something like brand new and much more rugged. And I'm excited to.
You think that would make like maybe a good together. Blades in the Dark game?
No, I'm gonna use the Spy Game system and 5th edition.
Hey, Sensei Suplex, thank you for that raid.
Oh,
welcome in.
I start trying to wind things down and then we get attacked.
Welcome in, raiders, from our streaming partner, the Roll Together, Sensei Suplex.
So I think now, since we're winding down, now would be a good time for any questions that anybody has. This is now officially an AMA. I want to know what you want to know about us and about our thoughts on TTRPGs, TV, film, sports, whatever you got questions about, we will answer.
Sports questions might get heated from you.
My first homebrew campaign, which involved my first that guy story, involved piecing together the story of a failed level 20 party. Oh, I like that. Noir, how are you so fucking good at GMing you wizard? I don't think that I'm that good, but my advice to anybody is if you have the opportunity to go to a improv class, do it. You will feel like a dork the whole time.
Sure.
But you will learn how better to connect with people, and more importantly, know what they are shooting for. Holy
and another
Christ.
raid. Mind Players RPG. Welcome in, Raiders.
Petty Energy asks, how far are the Bears going to make it this season?
Remember when I said that sports things could get heated?
I'm not gonna get heated. I'm gonna face this question. We're not gonna get far until we fire Matt Nagy. He is stubborn. He is a terrible play caller, and even he hasn't developed a scheme around a quarterback that we jumped ahead in the draft to get. So we're not gonna get far. But thank you for asking. Why are Chicago pizzas more like lasagna?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
I will hear no Chicago pizza slander in my good Christian morning ritual. Chicago pizzas are delicious. They are the perfect ratio of crust to topping to delicious sauce. And I am a Chicago deep dish pizza convert. And first opportunity I get, I am going back to Chicago to get myself some Giordano's.
But they're lasagna. They're not lasagna.
They're not
You're
lasagna.
Just weak.
They're delicious.
Do we have any other questions? I could do this all day.
Lasagna has layers. If there was layers of pizza dough in between like the toppings and stuff, then it would be a lasagna. Technically, it's a casserole. It's delicious.
You are not helping. It's a fucking pizza.
It is a pizza.
I didn't know our look at the TikTok I sent. Because my TikTok notifications is probably around 456 right now, because it's been a while since I have checked my TikToks. I guess I wanted to hear your thoughts on Gen Con. You got thoughts?
I had a great time at Gen Con. I met a whole bunch of amazing people that I like, including this Husha kid fella. Seems like a swell dude. Your thoughts? I have a cat coming.
I have a lot of thoughts on Gen Con. First and foremost, I'm a little perturbed with the TTRPG community. In the sense that it doesn't take much to whip us up into being upset. The first few days of Gen Con on social media, I understand having critiques about people going to Gen Con, but one picture was posted in bad faith by a known bad actor, and people used that to be very disrespectful to a lot of the people that went to Gen Con. I know that my DMs are filled with some really disrespectful shit. And so like I want our space to be a little bit better than that. We can disagree and still show empathy. So that's my first thought on Gen Con. My second thought on Gen Con is that I learned a lot. And I think that if there's a piece of advice I could give people when they go to conventions like this, is if you are in the industry, if you are in the business of trying to make a living in the TTRPG space, always go to events like this, eager and ready to learn. I learned a lot. I made a lot of good connections, and it's not very hard to have a presence at a convention like that. And I think that is something that I learned that I would pass on to any of you. If you want to be seen at a convention, if you want to have a panel or anything like that, be on the lookout for when they ask for it and ask. Always shoot your shot, and it'll pay off.
Favorite thing that happened at Gen Con?
Favorite thing that happened at Gen Con?
I don't know. Maybe we just like that little live show that we did.
Okay, so just to kind of give y'all a what my schedule was. I did a morning and evening show for Gen Con. The morning show we started filming at around 7 a.m. The evening show we started filming at midnight. Then I had Morning Ritual Live, and then I was a part of the Return to Dark Tower presentation. So I was very tired a lot of the time. So my favorite part was sleeping. I'm not gonna lie. I was worn the fuck out. I was very grateful to go sleep. I was also very grateful to have all the opportunities that I had to film stuff there, but that sleeping was real good. It was real good.
That was a full packed weekend for you, for sure. You were busy.
Boy. I mean, and I was still doing work with Darkville behind the scenes as well. Announcement, I guess it's like not a big deal. But I am no longer part of the Darkville team. We kind of just walked away from that, which is, you live, you learn, you get lugs. But I was doing that work behind the scenes as well as filming all this other stuff. So I am glad. I was very glad to get rest. Conversely, what was your least favorite thing that happened at Gen Con? I just seeing Twitter and it was a dream to have a live show and to make it to Gen Con. This show just started as a whim, and I quit my job about a year ago chasing the passion of talking about TTRPGs and talking about wanting to build a career here. And then in a year, I'm at Gen Con at a couple of panels. And so it was a very exciting time. And some of the people that I admire and some of the people that I'm close to were just hammering on everybody that went to Gen Con. And that sucked. I'm not even going to lie about that.
How do you feel about producing Rivals?
Tomorrow is the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta be honest with y'all, I am terrified. I am nervous. I am shitting bricks. Rivals of Waterdeep is a big deal. It's a really big deal. It was Wizards, first Chicago-based project, Midwestern, but Chicago-based project. It's the biggest all BIPOC show out there. They've had 11 seasons of just stellar quality, stellar work, and amazing storytelling. And some of the most influential voices in the space have come out of Rivals of Waterdeep. And now I'm producing it, and I'm just praying to God I don't fuck up. I'm terrified, but that's again just being completely honest with you. If you are not doing things that scare you, then I would advise pushing harder, because that's the only way to advance, is to ask yourself, can I do this? And then when the moment comes where you have to either sink or swim, don't sink.
What are we dressing as for Halloween?
I dress up every day of the week almost. So I don't fucking know. Like yesterday I dressed up as a vampire, and a pirate and an angel and a knight.
A knight.
I don't know. Like if depending on how things go, I have a few opportunities in the wing. I've had a few job interviews, and if things go my way and I get a disposable income, I will dress up as X Factor Wolverine, because that has been the character that I've wanted to dress up for a very long time. But other than that, I don't know.
Hell yeah. I honestly don't know what I'm dressing up as for Halloween. I mean, I still have my goose costume from a couple years ago that I can use. I like my goose costume.
Goose?
My goose. I dressed as the goose from Untitled Goose Game.
You, Diana, could be double goose.
Goose.
Noir, are you planning on getting a sporin or a for your kilt? I don't know, Faye, what any of those words mean.
A sporin is the little pouch that goes on the front with the tassels.
Oh, it already has a pouch.
It's because you've got pockets on it. But like, there's actually like the sporin, which is a traditional kilt thing. It's like a little belt on the front.
Oh.
Yeah. Sporin's the little bag that goes on the front. And then I don't know how to pronounce it, but is that the dagger? Yeah, the dagger for the sock.
Oh, well, I've got daggers, but I mean, I feel like the answer to a lot of your questions is going to be based on if I get disposable income.
Skindu is how it's pronounced. Skindu.
Your boy is broke. I am doing my best. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas and a lot of stuff that I would love to delve into. I love kilts now. I want to buy nothing but kilts, and shit, if I have the means, the funds, and the time, then you goddamn right, I'm gonna get the whole shebang bang.
Faye says that if they get to Chicago one day, they're bringing you a full kilt.
Hell yeah, I love kilts. I'm upset at whoever pantsed. Like whoever did this pants thing, go fuck yourself. I've had my leg trapped for decades now.
Are you wearing your kilt right now?
No, that's none of your business. I mean, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I'm wearing the Udi, and that's it.
I'm wearing my onesie, and that's it.
Well, the Udi it just after the Udi ends, there is nothing else.
Noir is Pooh Bear in it.
You goddamn right.
Donald's ducking.
That's why I've been very sure to stay in my seat
and not move.
For y'all accidentally see some dick.
Udi's # sponsor.
I mean, I am gonna do a sponsored stream tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Were there any other questions? I kind of like this Q&A type deal. We should name this the Q&A episode.
The Q&A, because I'm in Canada again.
Fucking Jesus Christ! Udi actually sponsored people on Twitch. They do. And I don't know how I hit their radar. But they've given me a sheet. So like if I think anybody would be interested, I can send y'all their way.
Toss it in chat.
No, not like that. They're like if you know anybody else we should sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Send them this for.
I was saying that if you wanted to use your coupon thing.
Oh yeah, well, if you want to get a Udi, my code is TheNoirEnigma. So like Yeah, and like there's an Udi with garlic bread, and I was this close to getting it. But how could you not get otters, baby?
What does your role as producer on Rivals entail?
Oh, that's a good question. So, when you when when you dream and you ever dream? No,
Have you ever
when
had
you
dreams?
when you sign on as a producer for a stream, essentially what that is that I run the Streamlabs for them. I run the Nightbot for them. I handle their transitions. I queue them up for breaks. I queue them up for returning from break, and I also handle having their content uploaded to YouTube, as well as handling the audio for their podcast. So, yeah.
If you could make a plushie of any of your characters or any monster, what would you pick?
Okay, so you actually asked a question that's going to unlock a spoiler for the world of Gloria. There is a monster from the first age named Tron. Tron. I didn't create this monster. This is, if you know the story of how I got into D&D, you know that I played with a group of grognards who had my character lynched, and I never played with them again. However, I did take one monster from them, and that monster's name is Tron. And it is a displacer beast, big cat, with 12 tails, and each end of the tail has a god-killing weapon on it. So one tail has a blade, one tail has a sickle, one tail has whips, so on and so forth. This creature was created to hunt divinity, right? And it's just this big, mean as fuck cat that sniffs out divinity and snuffs it in its sleep. And it is so adorable. Like, it's so cute. Like, he's got all these weapons on his tail, and I would just make a plushie out of that. It's
also, so Milan, no. An Alexander Cross Plus with a detachable tree.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
Where can I buy one? That sounds cool as heck.
I would love to make it. I have ideas for the world of Gloria that I've actually gone back and started talking to some of my previous players, and kind of just verbally going over some of the stories that we had, and there's a lot that I'm excited for, especially in the Feywild, because I forgot that I actually had an adventure in the Feywild before. And there is one village in particular that made an impact on my players that they were like, you got to do it again and make it worse. And I'm like, okay. So I am very excited.
Hate that for me. The plushie question for me is I would make a Moonshine the Magnificent plush with a backpack that's just full of little items. My artificer.
Any other questions? There's no such thing as a stupid question. You can ask us anything, chat.
Yeah. Boop. Little bird buddy. Wait. I'm waiting with bated breath. What's happening? Can the Moonshine plush function as a bag? Ooh. Ooh. That's good.
That'd be cool.
That's good.
Gotta take you down to the Build-A-Bear workshop.
Gotta make myself a little raven folk. Let's see. Can we have moonshine? Like the alcohol? Licensing rights might get a little hairy because Kobold Press. Can you have moonshine? The alcohol? Yes, you can buy apple pie moonshine and cherry moonshine.
Apple pie moonshine is so good.
It is very good. Best way to implement dragons in your game.
Oh, I have thoughts on this. Well, you can go ahead. You can go first.
I've had a couple dragons in my home games. I've had a silver dragon that acts as a sort of advisor to a fallen prince. Unfortunately, my characters never got the chance to encounter this silver dragon specifically. She basically adopted him when his family was deposed and the entirety of the city fell under plague, giving rise to one of the archmages that is currently the BBEG. Pisces, why are you like this? I have a cat. No, go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay. So the best way to implement dragons into your world is to read the Dragonomicon from 3.5, which is a big ass book that goes into great details about the differences between all of the dragons. And from there, you need to understand that dragons are peak. And what I mean by that is that if you pop your dragon cherry too early, there's not too many other places you could go after that. You have to have a healthy respect for the fact that dragons are not just big, giant murder machines, but they're also incredibly intelligent and wise and clever. Mm-hmm. Dropping a dragon just because you need a big scary monster is one of the baby GM mistakes that I made, because it's like after you kill a dragon, where do you go?
I've never thrown a dragon at my players. I've only thrown dragon NPCs at my players.
Right. So I think the answer to your question is how do you implement dragons in your game? Cautiously. Right now in my game, dragons are a rumor. Like, they used to exist, and the players now have concrete proof that they existed, and they've met one, but they've met one that isn't able to do anything yet. It requires action on the player's behalf to free dragons, and they're not just freeing good dragons, they're freeing all dragons, which then creates story opportunities later on. So I think it pays to play the slow game with dragons.
Had a DM drop a full Vampire Lord session 1, never played with them again.
Yeah,
I think that's the same with like any like big, bad, evil, or iconic villain or monster. Dropping them session 1 or early is kind of yeah. Harper has a question about Kingsguard.
Sure. Bring it on!
Ask away.
Its parents come back for revenge. That depends on the dragon though. Like, if you kill the child of a red dragon, it'll come back. Like, its parents might come back if you talk shit. Like, if you don't talk shit, they might, like, okay.
Red dragons are prideful.
Yeah, you killed my kid. I guess my kid sucked. Like, but let's see what gold they got.
AJ asks, when can I see you both again and just hang out?
Whenever I get disposable income. Would you ever consider doing one-on-one sessions with the Kingsguard players, like as prequel episodes or as between season fillers?
Ooh, good question.
So The answer is yes. So I don't want to give things away, but I probably like I'm also trying to remember how much of the story I've already given away. So the answer is yes. There actually will probably become a point where that is necessary. It's obvious that there has been time shenaniganery at play here. And I believe I've already had you make your level 20 characters, and there is a reason for that, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I need to do that? Says AJ.
Yes.
Doesn't
yes,
AJ also have to do his 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Yes, you do. This is becoming less of a talk show and more of like me talking with my players.
Roast your player session now. Shh. Don't mention that I still haven't done my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I guess this would be new, but Kingsguard is probably going to be where the story of Gloria ends. So I've tracked a few potential timelines and endings already in accordance to some of the stuff that has already been done. But there will be sessions where I do require just one person or maybe two people or all of y'all, but you're not necessarily playing yourselves as yourselves and that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Who else got questions? I like this.
I like this too. It's very cozy and chill.
Roast them all. Roast all my players.
Honey roast them.
There's really nothing to roast. Like they, you know, all my players are awesome. I'm grateful to have them. They all bring something unique to the table. You need different personalities at the table because that's how you get the most story. If everybody's kind of doing the same things in the same way, then it's not as fun. I will say this: there is a sponsor that I am going after that if I get them to say yes to Kingsguard, we would most likely have to, well, not have to, but we most likely end up doing out of show content where we would play like that. We would play certain games in character that aren't D&D, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Roast our characters?
The things that I would roast about the characters are the things that I would roast about quite literally every fucking group of PCs that I play with, which is just go. But what if we just go? But this could be a just fucking go.
Pajama party. We're hanging out. What activities we doing?
Well, in character or just in general? Because I don't have a
AJ's just
character. I'm
asking
in
in
general.
general.
Oh, I don't know. I fucking that. I did ask for questions. Fucking Nerf. It's Nerf for nothing.
We're gonna do a Nerf
A,
tournament.
a pajama Nerf party. Bring it on. When do we get to consummate our marriage? Or it's been a year. I'm ready. Waiting. You know what? As soon as I can move to Canada, well, you and me, we gonna lock this thing down.
Bo, I'm sorry to inform you that I am going to have to fight you for Noir's hand in marriage. There's going to be a sword fight. Pistols at dawn or sabers at dawn. Your choice.
Nerf war, disposable income.
Disposable income.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. We don't have to fight. I can share. Okay, we'll share.
If you want to make these dreams come true, I do have a coffee that you can donate to. Other than that, your boy's gonna be out here struggling.
Plans for critical missions for future seasons. I need to start putting out the call for new shows. We have to finish up the shows that our summer season has been going a little long just because scheduling hiccups and the like. But we should be getting our new shows organized fairly soon. I'm working on it. I'm also working on potentially getting sponsors for the channel so we can help fund these escapades in a little bit more of a sustainable manner.
See, a big issue I ran into for my campaign was trying to fit my players' backstories and make them integral to the plot. Any advice on how to properly balance that? Yes. So the biggest piece of advice that I can give you on how to fit your character's backstory into your game is to realize that you have quite literally all the time in the world, and players can feast off of crumbs. And what I mean by that is you don't have to name drop an NPC. You don't have to name drop an organization. You can give your players a whiff of their backstory, and if they're invested, they will know and they will hold on to the ride. And if you feel like somebody is starting to, disconnect from your story, you just give them a bigger crumb. And the other thing is to really, and I say this in it's actually the most useful advice I could give a GM, which is to actually read your character's backstory. I can't tell you how many GMs I know that don't actually read their character's backstory, their player's backstory. It can be a headache. It can be a headache because not everybody is a novelist, and so. But you've got if they're gonna invest in your world, then you need to invest in theirs. And so read their backstory. And what I like to do when I read my character's backstory is I like to, I do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so it's in a very simple structure. I make the character as I'm reading their stuff. So if they have a villain, I start making the villain. If they have allies, I make the allies. Just so I have it all ready. And then one of the things that I like to do after sessions, and this is something that I fuck up on a lot. Sometimes I forget to. But I ask myself with certain characters, while this session happened, what were you doing? And then I just kind of track that path. There is something that I like to give NPCs, which I call an ambition die. And that is at the end of every session, I will roll a D6, and depending on where they rolled, that's how far they've advanced in their goals. So it's helpful to keep the world going beyond what your characters do. There have been some people's NPCs who I will always roll a 6 on, it seems like, and so they are moving their plans right along. There are some people who I roll a 1 on, and it's just like they are slowly amassing what they're looking for. And then there are some characters, like my BBEGs, I give 2 ambition dice, so it's just like they can really go. Currently I have about 5 active BBEGs working in Kingsguard, and only, I think, 2 of them have made themselves known. So it's little things like that to have in your back pocket, to know like the world exists without them, and develop simple, easy mechanics to keep track of it. Whatever works for you is what's best. I say experiment. I say steal from other people. Just whatever you got to do to make their backstory comfortable for you.
Harper, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, great advice. You asked exactly the right person, because Noir is the master of incorporating character backstories into games.
I don't know about all that. As in the same number of PCs? Yeah.
Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. What's up? One for each member of the party?
So only 2 of them have anything to do with the party. The other 3 exist, and I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
Cool. Just the revelation of the 5. Nah, I'm good. I knew it just wasn't gonna be Owen and Mirabelle. And Mirabelle's like low tier.
Oh yeah, Mirabelle is not a BBEG. She's a lieutenant.
She's a mid-boss. Mini-boss?
Honestly, a recurring pest, if anything.
Rival.
Rival would be a better term.
How do you find the extra time to fit it all in? I really try not to break my brain.
That's why I have mechanics like the ambition die. It gives me an excuse. I literally leave everything to die or to cards or to random happenstance. And so that makes the work a lot. It makes you front load the work. So I'll even break it down. I don't actually have the sheet with me, but I have a D6. So a 1 on the die means that they are observing. The lowest that a BBEG will ever do is observe. They're always going to be watching for anyone or anything that can foil their plans, right? A 2 is that they are acquiring information. So they've gone beyond just looking. Now they're trying to get particular information, right? So from there, we have 3, which is now they're going to employ outside resources. This is either acquiring a particular NPC or acquiring more of an army, something to that effect. 4 is they are going to directly interfere with the plans or the well-being of the party. And then 6 is mayhem. I get to do whatever I want.
What's 5?
Oh shit, I completely forgot 5.
You skipped 5.
5 is they take drastic action against the allies of the party.
Ooh. Do you think that youngster Joey needs to be introduced to the Oodies?
I think everybody should be. This is so comfortable, and like I know that I'm getting paid to talk about this, and so like you have no reason to fucking believe me. If it sucked, I would tell you. I'm the same guy that joined a stream team and then immediately talk shit about their number one sponsor, which I got in some trouble for. But this is actually really comfortable. What I didn't expect the sleeves to be like elastic. So like they literally wrap around my arms and it kind of feels like just being held. And like the inside is like fucking blanket fleece. It's really comfortable. And there's like these big pockets in the front as well. So
Kangaroo
I can hold
pocket.
all my shit. Yeah. So it's really nice. They run about $79. If you use my code TheNoirEnigma, you get $30 off.
What type of Udi would your characters wear?
A black one. Honestly, it depends on the character.
How about Ayo?
Ayatunde? Ayatunde Esupofo. I love that name. Ayo would wear a very it's a very colorful one. Like honestly, you might have this one because like he's the same guy that has the tortoise in the hair flip-flops. If you are interested in the Udi, you can find them here. And if you do purchase one, well, it's code
the Noir
Enigma. So, let's see. Yeah, there's tons of choices, and I'm not gonna do sponsored content on another show. Like, look, the motherfuckers would buy a Udi and they'd be comfortable with it until like they need to switch it to the armor and start stabbing folks. That was a fun game last night.
I don't know. Some of your characters might not switch out of the Udi before murdering folks.
I mean, none of my monks would. They don't need to. Like, they can whoop your ass in a Udi.
Yeah, that was a fun little game last night that Bree ran here itself.
Let's see. Kydes goes, I love GMing and over prepper, I guess. Keeping in mechanical. Okay, that helps. Like it really does, because it takes it, all of the thought goes into what the die means, and then you just roll the dice from there on. And then you do it so often that you can kind of recall what each one means when you roll. Like right now, you know, I just rolled a 5, so somebody's ally is going to get fucked with. Like, and from there, it's just I look at who's doing it and who do they have access to and who does it make sense for them to target. So yeah, it was my very first Bree game. Oh, I love Bree's GMing. It's always a good time.
Bree's a good storyteller.
I've been in a couple of games with Bree now, and like after a while, you build a rapport, like that DM player relationship, and so like you can really tell how to fuck with them. And Ao is my vampire chaos lord, and yeah, he was being very chaotic, and it was a good time. If anybody's interested to watch it, you can see it on VOD at Friends Who Will Die. It's a good time. I'm glad you understood the system, because I did not. Fear itself, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know.
I really like it from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah. Like
it's better for campaigns, I think, than one shots. It's an unlimited system.
Perhaps I would rather use Urban Shadows, but I think that's because I'm a Urban Shadow slut.
A salute.
I've sort of had this rad GM that taught it to me. Ah.
Ooh.
Well, on that note, we've been going at this for 4 hours, close to. So I'll leave it down to one last question, and then I'm going to take a nap.
Same.
That's
the reason why the pajama stream is so perfect.
Yeah, one more question before I nap and then wake up and then panic about Rivals and get everything ready for that.
Pajamas mean that we can just hop back into bed, go back to sleep.
Pretty much. That or I'm going to cook some breakfast at 2 in the afternoon.
Hey.
2 in the afternoon. Can't confirm Noir is a rad GM still thing. Will you really take a nap? Honestly, probably. I'm gonna try, but I might end up. So I've been playing New World, and I might try and stream that today, and see if anybody comes through. I am at 931 followers on Twitch, and I am desperately trying to get that to 1,000. So I'm probably gonna be streaming a bit more. What are your hopes for Morning Ritual now that you've done Gen Con?
I already know mine.
Go for it.
We get Matt Mercer. Let's play.
So my hopes for Morning Ritual is I hope that we end up on an official network of some sort, or TV. I think we need to do a few more live performances, but I think that we've got a solid community. I think we just need to find a way to get a bit more exposure, and then we take this to like TV or some channel. Like I my dream for Morning Ritual is G4. Honestly, that's where I would like to take this. So that's my dream.
Let's do it.
Gonna say some Matt Mercer.
Twitter campaign summon Matt Mercer.
Hey, if y'all can get Matt Mercer's attention to come on the Morning Ritual, I will play any song you want me to, in any costume you want me to, while riding a unicycle.
For the record, they do not know how to ride a unicycle.
I do not know how to ride a unicycle.
Where can I play New World?
You got to download it from Steam. I was fortunate as a member of Cypher's stream team to have gotten a key for it, but I believe the game is out right now for about like $29 or something to that effect on stream. I will dress up as Elvira and play Time of Your Life on acoustic guitar while riding a unicycle. If y'all can get some, like, we need Matt Mercer Morning Ritual trending or something to that effect. Matt Mercer for Morning Ritual. If we get that here we go.
Let's see. That's the hashtag.
Matt Mercer for Morning Ritual. There you go. If y'all can make that a thing, if y'all can get Matt Mercer's attention and get him to answer our emails so we can have him as a guest on this show, I will dress up as Elvira, wig it all, and find somebody with a unicycle and borrow it with the understanding that I will fall. And I will buy a cheap acoustic guitar and I will play Time of Your Life.
Hopes for the channel, clipped by Sphinx. Thanks, Ryan. is giving me high school graduation flashbacks because that was the song they made us.
I know, right? I fucking hate this song.
Oh, it's the worst.
Okay, I do still remember it. So I will play that just as Sapphira, and then we'll do it.
Fastest clip in the West.
Ooh. All right, so I think that was the last question. Good luck summoning Matt Mercer. You fucking nerds.
Absolute maniacs.
You fucking nerds.
Let's see, who is there anyone that is our friends that is online?
We got Pleasantly Twisted.
Is there anybody from our stream team currently? Let me check. Why are my quick actions not showing up here?
You fucking nerds!
Me? I'm a nerd?
Everybody here is a nerd.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my god.
Let's go to the channel. Let's make sure that this site is muted. Alright, sweet. We don't actually have any of our stream partners online. Stella Luna's online, Martlet Games is online. Doing talk shows and podcast currently. Who else is online? Any suggestions? Chat? Or you said Pleasantly Twisted's online?
Mm-hmm.
We could go raid PT. Yeah, we're gonna go on a quick raid to PT. So they are on followers only chat because you know what? We're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go say hi to Pleasantly Twisted. Thanks everybody for stopping by. That was super. Yeah, it did work for Gen Con, so who knows? Who knows anymore?
Oh wait, what worked for Gen Con?
The hashtag.
Oh well, you know what? That's true.
It's true. All right, everybody. We're gonna go on a raid to Pleasantly Twisted. Thank you all so much for stopping by and chilling with us this morning. We love you all so incredibly.
Get the fuck out of my yard. Get out. Get out. I want all of you out of my fucking yard right
Until
now.
next time, everybody.
Get out.
The ritual has concluded. Bye, everybody.
Leave.